What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 4N Lady and the Tramp. Abara answered before she paused for a moment. How we managed to find some pre-Quirk era movies from different countries is still beyond me. She don't remember everyone buying these movies on their shopping spree for their little lamb. Ah, I ordered them online. Momo replied over her shoulder from the table, had overheard the guest's question. Oh, is that so? The Vine user hummed softly as she turned back to the movie, her gaze slowly drift sideways to Naruto. Like the girls, she get to know the Noumu more during her turns or at lunchtime whenever he came by for Reiko's bentos, and she find him to be so pure. How can someone be so kind and naive if they claim to be not a human? She have seen him taking stray animals in from time to time, doing his best to raise Eri well and treat everyone equally without judgment, beside this Mineta sinner. She was concerned at first when she heard that Naruto have joined the school, but it was almost dashed immediately once they have a decent conversation. And what's he like? Plus, she don't forget what went down during their first encounter in the forest. If he haven't healed her classmates, Shishida's and Bondo's career should have ended right before it even start, and his touch was pretty warm. Abara almost reached up to touch her light flushed cheeks, only to resist the temptation as she keep her hand down around her little lamb. What are they doing? Eri asked innocently, and Abara snapped out of her thoughts as she turned back to the movie to see that the dogs was about to kiss. The vine-haired girl covered the little girl's eyes for a moment because she feel that it's too early for her little lamb to learn about romance, to Eri's and Naruto's confusion and few snickers from several other teenagers. 2 days later, Naruto stared blankly at Hizashi's back as he followed the older blonde outside, and the voice user turned to him with a nervous grin. Naruto, my little listener, are you? Hizashi lifted up 2 baseball gloves and a ball. Up for a little catch game with your old man? Catch game? Naruto tilted his head puzzlingly. What's that? It's a game where you just toss and catch the ball. The older blonde explained. All we have to do is throwing it back and forth between us. It's one of things that daddy do with their kids. The young blonde just blinked. Well, I want to make some memories and spend some more times with you before your mom get you for the weekends. He paused. Wow, I feel like a divorced father and I'm not even married. He just barely got back together with Tomoko after some discussions. The blondes just stare at each other before Hizashi give his son a glove. Here. Put it on. He show Naruto how to put it on correctly, then take his place. Alright, I'm throw you the ball. Catch. He tossed the ball to his son and the teenager catch it with his glove. And I have to throw it back to you now? Naruto picked the ball up, then throw it back to the older blonde. That's right, son. Hizashi grinned before they continued to playing catch until he speak up. So, he doesn't know what to ask his son about, and he really can't ask him about school since he's a teacher. Any girls that catch your eyes? He winced. Tomoko is so gonna kill him for asking that because she want their son to stay innocent a little longer. I don't understand your question, the teenager said. I mean, is there any girls that you like? The older blonde asked. You know, like as in like, love? He has to make sure that he's clear enough for his son to understand. Love? Naruto blinked as he caught the ball. I know it's an emotion, but I don't know what it's like. Neither understands emotions. No one does understand emotions. Hizashi joked with a sheepish grin. So there's no one then? How can you tell if you're in love? The teenager asked. To know the signs of love, the older blonde hummed. You always want to look at this person more than anyone else. You want to see them again even if you already seen them an hour ago. You always think of this person even if they're not in same room. You don't mind doing whatever they want to do or say. You feel strange or charged when they're in your sight, and he racked his mind. There's a lot more, but I'll tell you later. It's really hard to describe the concept of love to a teenager. Does that mean I'm in love with Jiro? Naruto blinked to himself as he kept playing catch with Hizashi for a while, the latter try his best to get closer to the former. Jiro, you teach just like a professional. Momo made some tea with a smile in the kitchen. You got Tsunodori, the amateur, to learn the chord progression. They have been practicing for a couple weeks since then. It wasn't that impressive. Kyoko waved it off until she smells something good. Hey, today's tea smells really good. I know, right? The creator become very cheery. I got it from my mother. It's the Phantom Black Tea, Imperial Golden Tips. Please try it, everyone. I don't quite understand what it is, but thanks as always. I don't quite understand either, but it's so bourgeois. Deku-kun. Ochako called out to the greenette. You're not having any of Yamomo's tea, she screamed out as Izuku swiped rapidly in his phone, mumbling something about all might and support items. Oh, shoot. Izuku accidentally tabbed a random video and he listened to it while talking to the gravity girl about Gendel and tea. Momo mama, can I try the tea? Eri asked timidly from her seat on Naruto's lap as she play Uno game with Yuga, Tsuyu and Eijiro at table in common room. Yes, you can. Momo gave the little girl a child-sized cup with a beaming smile. Careful, it's a little hot. Thank you. The little girl sipped her tea quietly, then lifted up above her head to Naruto's mouth, and he take a sip of it before she bring it down to drink it again. See, cute. The creator find the sight to be sweet, and she wasn't the only one to think this way. On the way back to the kitchen, Momo noticed Shoto walking to the elevator and she hang her head down slightly as Kyoko noticed it. Still disappointed that your crush turns out to be asexual but considering become gay for someone else? the rocker whispered lowly to her friend, patting her shoulder gently. They have found out about it at the end of the week with Mindwalker couple weeks ago and it was Mina who drops the bombs on them. A little. Momo sighed softly, but the positive thing is that it's just a silly fleeting crush so it doesn't hit me hard as I thought it would. That's good. Kyoka nodded together with the creator. If you want to talk about it, I'm here anytime. Thank you. The creator smiled to her friend brightly as she gave her the teacup. Here, Jiro. Try it and tell me what you think. Oh, it's really good than I thought. The rocker gasped after a sip and the creator nodded rapidly with a very bright smile. You want me and Shiratoko to what? Ochako raised her eyebrow at Aizawa strangely couple days later. I want you two to show Eri around as everyone are getting the festival ready in few days so she won't become very anxious and accidentally trigger her quirk on this day. Aizawa grunted. Tagata will tag along with you guys. Okay, I get that but, the brunette tilted her head with furrowed brows. Why now? She realized something as she jumped up slightly. And don't Eri-chan have better control with her quirk since you guys have trained her for a while? I just want it out of the way, just think of it as a test trail. The scruffy teacher shrugged his shoulder. Eri may have improved her control with her rewind but it's not perfect and we're not sure if it will go off without any warning. Plus, your child need to get out more instead of sitting around almost all day and I checked your schedule, it's your turn to be her mother for a day. Am I right? Yes. Ochako scratched the back of her neck sheepishly as her teacher just turned around and walked out before she glanced back to Mirio, Naruto and Eri. Well, she bent down to her daughter with a gentle smile. Eri-chan, ready to go on a walk and look around? Maybe? Eri fidgeted nervously, shuffled closer to her papa. It's gonna be okay. The smiling brunette held her hand out to her. We'll be with you always. Okay. The little girl shyly reached out to take the gravity girl's hand and the group start their walk as Ochako tried to figure out which place they should visit first. The smiling senior hung a bit back. Mirio chuckled to himself when Eri quietly held Naruto's hand with her another hand and the gravity girl didn't notice it for good 10 minutes until she yelped out of embarrassment. Even if it's still almost a month away, everyone's busy to plus ultra, huh? Ochako commented as the students ran around or working on their stands and Eri looked around timidly, holding onto Naruto's pant leg and another hand holding 3 of the gravity girl's fingers. The brunette was about to add more until a dragon head suddenly appeared in front of her, causing her to cry out in startle. Excuse me. The dragon head moved aside to reveal Tetsu and the brunette noticed 3 more 1B students help carrying the head. Wait, it's Uraraka and Shiratoko from Class A. Wait. Wah. Nato popped his head up, chit-chatting in a place like this? You got that much time on your hands? Eri-chan, are you okay? The gravity girl asked the little girl worriedly, hoping the shock don't trigger a rewind. Yes. Eri replied softly, I thought it was a Rex that said Mama showed me in dinosaur books. Oi, the copycat user screeched, you ignoring me? You think that's okay? He pointed at them with a smug smirk. You guys are putting on some kind of live performance, I hear. I wonder how that'll go. This time I'll tell you straight up. We of Class B are gonna be better than you, Romeo, Juliet and the Prisoner of Azkaban. The Return of the Kings. Class B's completely original super special fantasy play. Ochako noticed Awase sneaking up behind gloating blonde with a plank beam as the gravity girl silently turned the confused little girl's head away while covering her ears. Better get ready. We're gonna shame you to tears. I'll have a handkerchief for you when it happens. Before Nato can go on, he get knocked out by the annoying wielder with few whacks to head. Sorry, Class A. Awase panted heavily over the twitching copycat. Kendo's not here, so he went unchecked. Where is she? Ochako asked curiously. She's running for Miss Khan. The wielder dragged Nito's body away, though she's being forced against her will. Sorry for suddenly showing you the dark side of Yue. Mirio joked to Eri, causing her to furrow her brows confusingly. What's Miss Khan? Naruto asked the gravity girl and her response was just a shrug. Speaking of Miss Khan, the phaser user snapped his fingers. That's right, she's also fired up this year. Who? Ochako turned to her senior with a blink. Najire flowed in a large changing room, wearing a tight dress with flowing skirt as she tested out with her friends until she noticed the touring group entering the room. Hey, why is Eri-chan here? Najire flew toward them. Strange. Why? She picked the little girl up in a hug. So exciting. Oh, is it my mom day? No, not until Friday. Ochako reminded her, and tonight's Yui's turn for bedtime. The flow user nuzzled Eri's cheek with a pout before she put the little girl down then looked up to them with a soft gasp. That's right, but listen. Are you listening? She wiggled her index finger up. Each year, I've never won. There's this amazing girl. The champion of Miss Khan, 3rd year Class G support team, the dazzling Zaki Bibimi-san. Amazing? The gravity girl blinked slowly. Is it? Naruto turned his head to the brunette with a tilted head and once again, she just shrugged her shoulders slightly. This year, she's gonna appear in a commercial that'll make her fanbase blow up. Tamaki muttered. Kendo-san will be there as well. Hato-san's getting fired up for it, too. To perform in the presence of the public, he suddenly crouched down while holding his stomach. Ow, OWW, my stomach starts to hurt. The Noumu walked over to heal him. I detect no injury in you. The blonde tilted his head, almost caused Ochako to spit laugh at the scene. Like Yu says, the first step is just about making an appearance. Najire grinned as a girl in background looked up at the mention of her name, but one way or another, it becomes both exciting and terrifying. She grinned brightly. That's why, this year, I'll definitely win. It's my last one, after all. You can do it. Mirio pumped his fist up with a big smile and airy stare up at Najire. Oh, good luck, we'll root for you. Ochako gave the blue-haired girl a thumb up and a cheery smile. We'll be going now, see you later. Eri-chan, gimme goodbye kiss. The smiling Flowwave user bended down to receive a goodbye peck from Eri, then she hugged her tightly before she released the little girl. Bye, guys. Oh, Shiratoko, don't forget that we're meeting at the park near Gamma Gym on Friday. I won't forget. Naruto nodded to Najire as the group left the room and Ochako turned her head to him with a raised eyebrow. Why are you and Hado going to park together? She asked curiously. Hado want to take me and Eri out on a picnic. The Noumu replied. She call it family date, which I don't understand. Of course she'll do that. Mirio chuckled lightly. When Eri come into Najire's life, the little girl in Naruto was all what Najire talk about almost every day and she always called them her family. Does it bother the phaser and Tamaki when she say that? Not really. Anyone who know Najire know she's not thinking it in romantic sense and if she does, he'll be fine with it as long as his friend is happy. FF family DD date. Ochako squeaked out with burning rosy cheeks. She don't really know that her senior is. The chuckling phaser whispered into the gravity girl's ear as she calmed herself down. Oh. Now she feels silly for thinking this way. Will Ochamama go with us for family date? Eri asked timidly, not understanding the real meaning of date. Oh, or are we on family date because we're together? The poor brunette stuttered, barely get a word out. Well then, next is, the phaser chuckled out loudly as he gestured to a certain blast doors, the support department. He showed them in as the little girl looked around at several students working on their machines. All of the grades hold a technology exhibition together. So it's not individual like other classes? Naruto asked. That's right. A voice suddenly popped up right behind the Noumu. The cultural festival is the support team's moment to shine. Is that Hatsume? Ochako turned around with a jump before she dropped her jaw at the sight behind Mei. Wah. My adorable baby, child number 202. Mei gestured to a giant robot before she looked down to Eri with a wide grin. Oh, did I forget today's my turn? No, Naruto answered. Ah, poot. The pink cat pouted for a moment. I was looking forward to teach my little assistant how to build a blast cannon. Please don't. The gravity girl just deadpanned until she noticed something. Ah, you're dirty. The pink cat was completely covered in soots. 'Cause getting in the tub is a waste of time. Mei replied brightly to Ochako's sweat drop before the pink cat spun around to her machine. The ideas keep on gushing forth. It's so exciting. For the hero department, the sports festival was already the second place to garner attention. She patted the machine's leg, but, this time, it's as that have been given the opportunity to be the main attraction. A ton of companies will get a careful look at my little child. I better rear him to not be shy like his sister. She flashed a smile down to Eri before she looked up to Naruto. More importantly, have you get any new quirks? Anything that I can test my babies out on? If anything ever comes up, please let me know, ASAP. Before Naruto can say something, the giant robot's head suddenly exploded with black smokes. Baby? Hatsume, again. A supporter screamed. Water, water, the pink cat cried out. Hatsume, I'm sorry. Ochako quickly pushed Naruto and Eri out of the supporting studio with Mirio in tow. Let's go, guys. Well, guess that's it. The brunette said as the group take a break in cafeteria after a long walk before her head turned to Eri, who was quietly sipping her juice. Will you be okay? What did you think? Eri uttered, don't really know, but so many different are trying their hardest, so I want to know how it will turn out. We call that feeling, excitement. A voice nearly causes both Ochako and Mirio to jolt up before the group turned to the source to see Nezu with Midnight at other table. Seems like it was worthwhile, don't you think? He was eating a cheese like a madman. Principal Nezu. Ochako gasped in surprise. Midnight sensei, wah. I'm also excited for the cultural festival. Nezu wiped his mouth with a napkin. In order to throw the best festival they can, many of the students bring encouragement, excitement, and try to create a good time for everyone. Especially since we've gotten into various issues with police, Midnight commented to herself. Watch it, Kayama. The principal held his paw up to stop her before he hop off the chair then walk away with arms behind his back. Well, I'll be going now. You all, enjoy the cultural festival to your heart's content. I can't say for sure, the R-rated heroine picked her tray up after the principal left, but the principal seems to have worked pretty hard, getting this result after butting heads with a higher up. We've fortified security even more. Then, in the off chance that the alarm sounds, even if it's a false alarm, we'll immediately suspend activities and evacuate. That was the condition for holding the event. That's rough. Ochako frowned to herself. Of course. Midnight nodded. I prepared very hard on my end so that doesn't happen. I even dispatched Hound Dog to watch over school premises. She remembered something. Oh, yes. Talk of Class A's program has even made it to the staff room. Work hard, young ones. We will. The gravity girl smiled at her teacher as the woman left. Papa and Ochamama are playing music, right? Eri glanced up to Naruto. That's right, we're playing a live music. Ochako grinned at her, I'll be dancing and your daddy's playing drums. We're doing our best so that you can have a fun time, Eri-chan. The little girl looked interested and very curious about the musical show, and the gravity girl decided to relay the information to her friends about security and what'll happen if it went off later. Oh. Mirio gasped out loudly, for your information, I'm looking forward to it, too. We're back. The gravity girl announced as soon as she entered the dorm with Eri and Naruto before they hear a surprised yelp from the kitchen, and the brunette was about to check until Pony quickly raced out. You back? Pony waved her arms widely with nervous smile. Uraraka, you take Lil Unicorn up to playroom, yes? Yes? At first, Ochako was confused by her behavior until she spots something inside the kitchen before she turned to Eri with a cheery smile. Eri-chan, let's go upstairs and play Connect 4. Ochako held her hand out to the little girl. Okay. Eri grabbed her hand and they went up together. The little girl didn't realize that her father wasn't following them because the blonde girl stopped him by holding his shoulder. Shiratoko, come help. The foreigner beckoned him into the kitchen, and Naruto immediately spotted a dozen of ingredients lying around next to pots, sticks and spoons. What are you trying to make? Naruto asked, picking an apple up. Candy apple. Pony answered as he turned to look at her. I check festival pamphlet and it say no candy apple. Eri-chan'll be sad because no apple. She looked determined. Can't have it. No, we make some for our unicorn, surprise her. And you want me to help making them? The Noumu said, but I don't know how to cook. It's okay. The horned blonde pumped her fist with a big grin. We do it together. Okay, together. Naruto copied her action with a tilted head before they turned to the table, making attempts to create candy apples. About 2 hours later, Yuga walked into the common room with Izuku, Mineta and Rikido before the French student noticed his fellow blondes in the kitchen. Oh? Yuga peeked inside. Are you two preparing something? We're trying to make a candy apple for Eri. Naruto replied, it'll be a surprise for her on cultural festival day. Ah, that's sweet. The French teenager smiled brightly, I hope she'll like it. Same here. Izuku agreed. Here, taste. Pony held a candy apple up to the Noumu as she leaned closer to him and he took a bite out of it. How is it? Phew. Mineta bit his lower lip angrily with blood tears as both Izuku and Rikido blushed at the blonde's actions. Why him? Why not me? Oh my, how dazzling. Yuga covered his giggling lip with one hand. It's good. Naruto answered her, I enjoy it. Oh, really? The American girl hopped slightly with a cheery smile as she took a bite from another side of same candy apple. That's great. She suddenly spit the pieces out into the sink with few coughs before her bloodshot eyes popped widened open as she screamed in English, that's so salty as fuck. She quickly took a glass of water to wash the taste out of her mouth. Salty. Her head whipped around to see Naruto calmly eating the same candy apple. Ah, spit out. Spit it out. The Noumu kept eating while tilted his head at her. Guess I'm gonna help them out. Rikido can't help but to sweat drop at the sight with deadpan expression as the blonde girl tired to make Naruto spit the bad apple out in a comedic fashion. And I teach her how to make a flower crown. It was so cute. Najire held her phone out to the girls to show a picture of Eri timidly putting a flower crown on Naruto, also sporting her own crown from the blue-haired teenager. Wow, it's heck adorable, Mina gushed. You better send this picture to me. Damn her. Reiko muttered under her breath as she stared at her senior with jealousy glint. She want to take Naruto out on a picnic date. Does that mean Hato is romantically interested in the Noumu too? Take it easy. Setsuna patted the ghost girl's shoulder with a light chuckle. It turned out that the girls of class 1A, 1B, Najire and Mei are gathering together in a room on 3rd floor in the 1A's dorm. The room appeared to be large, due to the fact that the girls asked Aizawa and Cementos for permission to convert 2 rooms into one large room, and it was approved after some discussions and good reasons. It was mostly for private and to prevent Mineta from harassing them too much. The room appeared to be similar to the common room but with more sofas and couches in various sizes, a single wide table, comfy rug and several smaller tables. Alright, I'm done with my turn. The smiling senior put her phone away as she glanced around at the girls. Who's next? I want to hear some cute stories about Eri-chan. Right now, the girls were having one of their regular meetings and most of time, it was just discussing and setting up schedule once the rotation is complete. And other times, it's random chats, sharing Eri story, swapping information or gossip, depending on certain girls. Speaking of Eri-chan, where's she? Kanoko whispered to Tsuyu, had arrived a little late due to a minor mushroom incident. Naruto took her with him to spend some time with his mom. Tsuyu replied, they won't be back until evening. Yui calmly raised her hand up slightly. Eri-chan had nightmare the other night, so Shiratoko brought her to my room by teleporting outside my door. We end up sleeping together in my bed for a night. Before anyone can react to that, Mina turned her head to the expressionless girl. Oh, you too? The acid user blinked. They came to my room the other night. I made him slept on rug with a blanket. She remembered that she found herself lying next to Naruto with Eri cuddling up on his chest when she woke up, but she won't tell that to her friends. I did the same thing, but I end up cuddling up to Naruto with Eri for warmth. The frog teenager added, it was a very cold night. Did anyone else here end up letting Shiratoko and Eri-chan stay over for a night? Itsuka raised her hand up with an arched eyebrow and everyone lifted their hands up. Does that mean Eri-chan have a recurring nightmare? She looked concerned, like several other girls. Maybe, Momo muttered unsurely. I thought it was one time but I guess I was wrong. Did anyone here ask Eri-chan what her nightmare was about? She said something about scary Birdman. Ochako recalled, at first, I thought she's scared of Tokiyami or his dark shadow but she looked fine around him. Some girls nodded in agreement. Should we do something about it? Recurring nightmares are usually triggered by stress or anxiety. The creator said, she don't look like she's stressed by something so it must be anxiety. I guess the best thing we can do is make her more comfortable and hope it'll pass? Kyoka twirled her jack around her finger. Yes. Momo nodded. There is nothing they can do about nightmares and some wish they have a quirk to take it away from their daughter. Hold on, Yui, you let him sleep in your bed? Abara sharply turned her head to the said girl. I did. Yui replied, he's a good cuddler. The poor vine-haired girl want to faint from the sinful thoughts. Honestly, if Naruto hadn't bring our daughter this night, I'd jump him right there. Reiko muttered under her breath and several girls who have overheard her gave her different odd and flustered looks. Looked like she better do something to claim her man before the others get to him. Several days later, Kyoko was adjusting some music notes in a notebook while nibbling on the edge of her jack before she looked up with a deadpan expression. Shiratoko. You're staring. She don't have to look back to see that the said teenager was staring at her, she can feel it. Yes, I am. Naruto replied. Can you not? The rocker muttered. Go set everything up before everyone gets here or something. They were the only two on the stage at the moment for another rehearsal. I already did, he said and she rolled her eyes as she focused on her notebook again. It was all quiet for a while. Dude, why are you still staring? Kyoka can't concentrate on the lyrics when he's staring at her. I'm trying to figure something out, Naruto said. Which is, she turned her head to him with a twitching eyebrow. I think I'm in love with you, he said bluntly and she stared at him blankly for a few moments. What? Kyoka's face burned up with haywiring jacks and widened eyes, nearly tear her notebook in half when she jolted up slightly. WWW, what did you just say? She must mishear him. I think I'm in love with you. Naruto repeated. Okay, she don't mishear him. Why? WWW, me. The blushing rocker stuttered, completely at loss for words as he just stared straight at her. Honestly, that is the first time a boy come up to her and tell her he love her. But why does it have to be this guy? He don't know anything about love or emotions. Who the hell tell him that? Or did he come to that on his own? Her eyes widened. She's so confused and don't know what to do in this situation. We're here. Mina entered the gymnasium with several teenagers. You're late. Kyoka screamed out of shock as almost everyone jumped at her shout. Take your place, everyone. She quickly power walked to the stage. Okay. The acid user blinked owlishly with everyone else, wondering what's up with the rocker. It's the night before the cultural festival and the class 1A were doing one last rehearsal. All right, they're closing up soon. Mina hollered to the dancers and band. Let's take it from the top. Clap, tap, tap. The dancers followed the beat. Clap, tap, tap. Ha. Now, Aoyama, you're at center. Midoriya, you're off stage. They obeyed her. Midoriya, your movements are still sluggish, so, the boy paced around clumsily. Wake up. I was worried at first about this performance thing since we're all amateurs. Honda crossed his arms, but now, both the band and the dance team have come a long way, haven't they? Thanks in no small part to Ishido being such a super intense coach. I guess when you love something, you give it your all. Ejiro agreed. That knock 'em dead with sound declarations fired up more than just the band. Who come up with this name? The tape-elbowed teenager sweat dropped. I did. The redhead said proudly. I'm starting to get nervous. Momo gulped. Don't do those weird ad-libs in the real performance, okay? Kyoka told her band to be safe. One of us might get thrown off by it. And then Midoriya will quickly go from the stage up to the ceiling, set up Aoyama, and suspend him from a rope. Mina said as the bush-haired boy hoist Yuga up, and then all that's left is. Isn't it? Hound dog slammed the door open with growl. 9 already? Students are bark only allowed in here until 9. Yikes, sorry. The teenagers quickly run back to their dorm, going back now. I can't sleep. Mineta ran around with a loud scream before Naruto punted him across the room. Please be quiet, Naruto said, my daughter is sleeping. Yeah, some people are sleeping. Mina agreed. I wonder if everyone else will enjoy this as much as we hope, Tenya wondered. I don't think you should think about it that way, Kyoka said with her hands tucked under her thighs, feeling shy or nervous won't do us any good. We just have to enjoy ourselves once we get on that stage. Weren't you the one who was super shy? Toru teased. That was different. The embarrassed rocker waved it off. What you said makes a lot of sense, Jiro, Izuku said while checking supplies with Yuga. Yuga added, focusing on others is the best way to help ourselves. I see. The greenette noticed the ropes. The rope is getting frayed. We've worn it out from practicing so much, the French teenager said. It's the proof of our friendship. Yeah, Izuku quickly caught himself. No, this is dangerous. Sorry I didn't notice earlier. Why don't you ask Yaomomo to make one? Honta said. Yaomomo already went to sleep. Mina rejected the idea, don't treat her like a toolbox. I'll buy one, first thing in the morning. The greenette said, I have morning training anyway. And incidentally, I also have some other stuff I want to buy. Wait, we're on at 10. The tape-elbowed teenager said, the store opens around 9, doesn't it? The home center that's 15 minutes from UA opens at around 8, Kyoka said. That's cutting it pretty close. Mina got up, we better hit the sack soon. Well then, we'll probably do this again tomorrow. Ejiro bumped his fists, but let's get in an early cheer, Night Owl squad. He pumped his fist up as most teenagers cheered loudly, let's do this, yeah. Aren't we supposed to be quiet? Naruto asked them and the embarrassed teenagers quickly quieted down. Let's find our calm and serene composure. Momo tried to calm herself down, the cultural festival have arrived and everyone was getting ready. Calm and serene. Fumikage repeated. Hey, Shiratoko, put on your t-shirt. Kyoka called out, we made it just for the occasion. Ah, I forget. Naruto replied. The dancing dress fit perfectly. Mina posed in the dancer outfit. Even though you just touched up one off the rack, Nezu said. It's erotic and that's what matters. Mineta hopped up. Midoriya's not here, is he? Shoto carried a box. He went out to buy rope. Yuga reminded him. What could he be doing out this late? The dual-haired boy said. Todoroki. The acid user called out. Let's do our final dress rehearsal already. What, indeed? The laser user hummed. I hope Eri-chan will be able to see the show. Toru bounced on her heels. She's with her grandma, Shiratoko, right? Rikido asked her and she nodded at him, despite the fact that he can't see her head. Good MOORRNING. Hizashi shouted into the microphone as the students become exciting listening to the PA, hey, guys. All of our preparations have been for this day. Today's a day to set aside your worries and cut loose. Forget about your coursework and go wild. With that, everyone join me in saying, the YUUEI Cultural Festival begins now. There was some smoke fireworks going off and the students start to exploring the campus or get ready to work. Hizashi stand up then step out before he grinned widely at Tomoko and Eri. Ready to go? Tomoko was able to get permission from Nezu because her quirk can be very useful since it can detect any possible intruders before they even reach the UA's barrier. Yup. Tomoko grinned back before she looked down to her granddaughter as they held hands. Little kitten, where do you want to go to first? I don't know. Eri uttered softly. Well, we still get some time before the musical show so let's go walk around for a bit, okay? The search user said. Okay. The little girl nodded timidly as she walked with her grandparents. Midoriya did what? Aizawa asked in the backstage with his class. What was he thinking going out to buy something on his own? Hanta yelled. It's starting. Toru waved her torso around. More people came than I thought. Ochako peeked slightly out behind the curtain at the crowd. That crowd's been excited all morning. She looked back to the French student, Aoyama-kun. Where's Deku-kun? What does that dumbass think he's doing at the last moment? Mineta sweated. That's, Yuga hummed before he ran out. I'll check the gate. Everyone take their places then prepare to start as the homeroom teacher head to join the audience and Izuku have finally arrived in his outfit with Yuga, quickly apologizing to everyone before the curtains part away. Let's go. Naruto lifted his drumsticks up in air. I don't know about this. Aizawa grumbled in the crowd. Doubts? Hizashi grinned widely. Over what? I'm hyped. Nobody asked you. The scruffy teacher deadpanned. Get back to your post. I just want a quick look-see, Present Mike said with a camera. My son's in the band. Can you see, little kitty? Tomoko asked Eri, holding her on her shoulders. Yeah. Eri uttered. There are many in other departments and grades who aren't happy with UA and some blame their frustrations on Class 1A. Aizawa said to his best friend, those malcontents aren't here to have fun. They're here to criticize the performance. I think it's fair to say they're not here for the entertainment. On the stage, Kyoka take a deep breath as Naruto bring the drumsticks down to smash the drum set, firing a booming sound that jolted everyone in the audience. The band started to play the music loudly and skillfully as the dancers took off before Kyoka shouted, thanks for coming. Oh, someone said in the audience as they watched the impressive perform, this ain't bad. They're in perfect sync, someone else commented on the dancers' steps. Here it comes. Tomoko grinned as Izuku tossed Yuga up in air. The laser user fired his quirk up to give a light show to the cheering audience. Woo! Hizashi threw his hands up. The big stunt's over? The search user gasped, so short. It's over? Eri asked. But look, Tomoko said as some teenagers on stage use their quirks, over there. Their quirks combined together to create a wild and elegant stage. Who want to have some fun? Ochako jumped into the air with Suyu's tongue around her torso. Put your hands up. She slapped some hands and some people float up in air with safe tape. Yeah. Eri threw her hands up with bright wide grin then pointed the show, looking down to Tomoko. Yeah. The musical show ended few minutes later as the audience cheered. I wish I could have seen Class B's play. Honda sighed as he heard some comments from the bypassing students about Class 1B's show, but we had no choice. Gotta do the cleanup properly. He looked over to Izuku looking down slightly with Toshinori talking to him. Is he getting scolded? The teenagers watch on as couple teachers join the group before Hound Dog suddenly toss Izuku over to them. Whoa. Someone yelped out, "It's a flying Midoriya." "Ah, here comes Senpai," Ejiro hollered out. "You, nice job back there," Mirio waved. At first, I was scared because it was so loud, but then everyone started dancing like, "Hop, hop," Eri said excitedly to Naruto with her grandma next to her, and then the light went flash and Midoriya disappeared, but, then everything got cold, like, whoosh, she lifted her hands up above her head, and then the light was spinning around, and Kiyomama's voice was like, "Wah," and her hands went down, I said, "Wah," too. "I'm so glad you enjoyed yourself." Naruto said. "Oh, are you now?" Mineta shouted, says the GU, he got beamed in head by Toru with bag of ice. "Don't you ruin this cute moment." The invisible girl huffed and the girls nodded in agreement. It's their first time to see Eri this exciting and smile brightly. "Class A." Someone called out, "Nice work, we had a great time." "Alright." The redhead grinned, "Thanks, dudes." "We're sorry." Two general students suddenly shouted out, "We went to watch because we were going to ridicule you guys." They shuffled off. Okay. Honda looked at them weirdly. "So those were the stressed out people Aizawa was talking about, right?" Ejiro asked Tenya. "I guess this means we got through to them, huh, Iida?" "Indeed." Tenya nodded. However, regardless of their reasons, the fact that there were people watching also means that there were people who were not, and they may still be bottling those feelings inside of them even after today. "Don't worry about it," someone else said, explained that they will tell everyone that they understand the Class 1A's feeling. "Hurry and clean up the rest of this ice," Mineta shouted, "we need to get this over with." "Ah, sorry," the redhead said, "but man, you've been on edge for a while now, huh?" "We need to hurry, or all the good seats at the beauty contest will be taken," the pervert screamed. "Kendo," the announcer said as the Orangeette break through several boards with a hand chop, her stunning dress is torn as she demonstrates her martial arts. A fusion of strength and beauty. What a wonderful performance. The Orangeette leave the stage as another one take her place while riding a giant head vision of herself, the queen of the beauty contest. A third year from the support department. With her high-level ingenuity, she shows off her face to the crowd. A superb performance indeed. "What is that thing supposed to do?" Eri asked on Naruto's shoulder. "Your guess is as good as mine," Mirio said before Nejire appear on the stage and she take off in the sky, dancing a bit to everyone's awe. "A magical dance in midair." The announcer shouted over the applauding audience. "I was completely drawn in, and now next up, you can cast your votes here. The results will be announced at 5. That concludes our event. The people start to cast their votes and it will end in Nejire's victory in few hours. Tonight's gonna be productive." Mineta shuffled away with a lewd giggle. "Class C's Ghost Labyrinth looks badass." Honda looked up from the foldable map. "Wanna go?" "I'm in." Mina grinned. "No way." Kyoka shivered. "No way." "They've got an obstacle course too," Ejiro said. "Let's have a little completion." "Crepes." Ochako sing-song. "Oh, Eri-chan." Pony showed up with her arms behind her back. "Find candy apple yet?" "No, we looked everywhere." Eri looked a little disheartened. "Look no more." The American girl suddenly held a candy apple out to her with a big smile, surprise. "Candy apple?" The little girl gasped with bright eyes as she received the said food from the blonde girl. "Oh," Tomoko blinked. "Where did you find it?" "Naruto and I made it together." Pony answered with a smile. "I looked, no candy apple. I learned make it and asked Naruto help me." She looked down to Eri. "Try it." Eri take a little bite from her candy apple before a cute smile break out all over her face with a happy hum. "Yummy. So adorable." Almost everyone thought at same time as some quickly try to take a picture with their phones or memorize it. "Where do you want to go now?" Tomoko smiled at her kittens. "Ramen stand." Naruto said, "I want to take the Mega Ramen Challenge." I want to play some games." Eri ate her candy apple slowly to savor it as she absent-mindedly reached up to hold Kyoka's hand with her free hand. The teenager girl get very flustered and startled by the little girl's action but she don't move her hand away. I don't mind checking some game stalls out first." Kyoka twirled her jack around her free hand. It give her a good excuse not to visit Ghost Labyrinth. "Alright. You can take little kitten with you while I go with my baby kitten." The search user pulled her son in a side hug happily. Everyone started to split up to visit different classes' attractions in either groups or by themselves. "Eat slowly." Ochako handed a crepes to Eri as some teenagers make their order at the crepes stall. "Okay." The little girls start to eat her food. "That's quite cute juice box you get there." Suyu said to Momo. "Are you planning to keep it?" "Well, I must recreate it myself since I don't want to draw any ants into my room." Momo replied as she glanced at Cementos-like juice box. "Good idea." Kyoka nodded. Shiratoko have 4 different ant farms in his room and they're all different." "Shiratoko have what?" Izuku turned his head to her with a rapid blinks. "Yeah, you hear me, 4 ant farms." The rocker shook her head amusedly before she counted up with her fingers, starting with thumb. "Little black ants, weaver ant, army ant and fire ant." Wait, aren't army ants dangerous?" The greenette boy dropped his jaw. "I better inform Aizawa." Tenya took his phone out with a heavy sigh. Why can't he stop Naruto from adopting wildlife? "Yeah, not really." The frog teenager turned to him with finger on her chin. "Naruto's ants, for some reason, just stay inside the ant farm box and does not really attack anyone. I was quite shocked when I saw them at first. Momo shook her head lightly before she giggled to their confusion. My apologies. I just remember that Shiratoko spent hours and hours just staring at his ants and Eri-chan joined him right away, keeping asking us questions about ants like why are they different. And did you join the ant watching? Suyu asked and the creator just blushed lightly at that. She feel a little embarrassed for wasting couple hours watching ants. By your silence, I take it as yes. What are you going to check out next? Kyoka asked them curiously and before anyone can give her a response, they hear a voice behind them. Oh, hey, guys. They turned to see Setsuna approach them with Jiroda, Kanoko, Shitai and Sen as she waved to them with toothy grin. Good work today. Your music show was awesome. Back at you, we don't see your show because of cleanup but I heard a lot of people enjoy it and Eri-chan say she liked it too. Ochako said as several teenagers trade some greeting to each other. Oh, really? Setsuna bended down to Eri's eye level with wide grin. You love our show, do you? Yes, but it was so confusing. Eri giggled happily, something that surprised the 1B girls. True, it was. The lizard-loving girl ruffled the little girl's hair up a little before she glanced at the crepe in Eri's hands. Can Set Mama take a bite of that? Here. The little girl held it up to her and Setsuna take a light bite out of it with a silly face, making the little girl giggle again. Both Setsuna and Kanoko give her a hug as Shitai narrowed his eyes slightly. I'm curious, what was Kachan's role in the play? Izuku asked. Who's Kachan? Jiroda pushed his glasses up with a raised eyebrow. Bakugo Katsuki. The bush-haired boy answered. Oh, him. The beast teenager scowled and his classmates also frowned to the green-haired boy's confusion. He refused to take part of the play and never help us out at all, Kanoko said. Yeah, he also don't want to come to cultural festival because, in his own word, it's. Sen paused to look down at the little girl before he cleared his throat as he looked back up to his fellow students. Well, he said a lot of colorful comments. Not surprising. Kyoka scoffed. I bet he would do the same thing if he stay in our class. He's what? Izuku jerked his head back slightly. Where is he? At our dorm. Why do you ask? Setsuna frowned slightly. I'm going and try convincing Kachan to come to the festival, the green-haired boy said. No, don't do th. The rocker was about to stop him but Izuku already jogged off as she huffed annoyingly, and he's gone. Please don't tell me he'll bring Bakugo here? The green-eyed girl grimaced. No, Bakugo won't listen to him if he tried to, Suyu said. Really? Sen raised his eyebrow. I mean, I thought they were pretty close enough to be couple because he stopped by our class often, asking for Bakugo. See couple? Ochako jolted up. I don't think Deku is. Oh, okay, sorry for making assumption. He shrugged his shoulders and the gravity girl nodded before she paused for a moment to think about something. Who are they talking about? Eri asked Suyu while nibbling her sweets. A mean boy that you should stay away. The frog girl replied bluntly, I'll show you his picture later so you'll know who to stay away from. She don't want the little girl to be around the explosive user, courtesy of his swears and violent nature. Like Creepy Mineta? The little girl asked. Yes, like Creepy Mineta. Kyoka can't help but to chuckle at Eri's nickname for the pervert and she wasn't the only one. Oh, where's Shiratoko, by the way? Kanoko asked after she looked around. He went to ramen stand with his mother for the mega challenge, Momo answered. Oh, so that's why class 3E were crying. Jiroda said to his classmates, they saw a lot of empty bowls in this stand with several wailing students on their way. No wonder why Yanagi said she wanted to go to ramen stand. Setsuna rubbed her chin before she noticed one A-class member's curious looks. I overheard her practicing her confession the other day. She's planning to use today to ask Shiratoko out. She's confessing to him? Kyoka widened her eyes in surprise. Oh my, the creator muttered. What's confession? Eri asked curiously. We'll tell you later. Ochako patted the little girl's head before she looked up to the 1B students. Hey, you want to stick with us for a while or not? Sure. Setsuna nodded with few others. Have you guys hit any game stalls yet? I heard there's a milk bottle game. The group walked together, chatting a bit as Kanoko held hands with Eri. At same time, Izuku will later get stopped by Aizawa on his way then forced him to go back to enjoy the festival. Naruto held an empty elegant ramen bowl with few plushies inside as he stand near several stalls and all of a sudden, he hears someone call his name out before he turned his head to see Reiko approach him bashfully. Hello, Shiratoko, she said. Hello, Yanagi. Naruto greeted back. Reiko glanced around to make sure their friends and classmates are not near while fighting her nervousness down. I have something to tell you. What is it? He tilted his head to her as his body turned to face her. When we first meet, she take a deep breath until someone pop up in between them with a wide grin, nearly startled the ghost girl. Naru-chan, I found some adorable ear headbands. Tomoko grinned widely as she placed orange headband with cat ears on her son's head, and one in your favorite color. She noticed the ghost girl. Oh? Are you my son's friend? You're his mother. Reiko immediately recognized Ragdoll as she remembered the tidbit, and yes, I am. Oh, that's wonderful. The hyperwoman's smile widened. Would you like to join us? I want to know more about you. Come on, she raced ahead while dragging her son and Reiko by their arms to several random attractions. Damn it, the ghost girl moaned mentally at her failed attempt. Maybe she'll get another chance soon once they're alone, after all the festival is not over yet. It was around lunchtime when most 1A students met up with few more from 1B class as they eat lunch in groups at the tables and Yui wiped some crumbs off Eri's cheeks while the little girl ate her peanut and jelly sandwich. And Itsuka mama was so cool when she break the bricks. Eri babbled happily. Yes, she was. Mina laughed before she turned to the said Orangette, but I'm surprised that you took part in MissCon and didn't tell us about it. Ah, I was forced into it. Itsuka sighed with an embarrassing blush, and I have no choice but to participate. Monoma signed her up without her knowledge so he can make some troubles, Juzo chuckled lightly. Did he? Hanta asked. Nah, some of us made sure to club him whenever he act up, the soft user replied. It's true, I witnessed that Awase guy beating Monoma up with plank. Ochako remembered the event with a nod. The ghost labyrinth was totally scary. Toru waved her arms as she talked to some of her friends. I just bolted right out of this classroom as soon as we found the exit. Ooh, I should go check it out after that. Eijiro looked interested enough to visit the ghost labyrinth. You should. The invisible girl nodded before she hears something near her. Where's Yanagi at? Manga asked Juzo. Looking for Shiratoko, I overheard Tokage saying something about confession. Juzo replied and the invisible girl nearly inhaled her food down the wrong airway. She quickly drank water to clear her airway with few small coughs, drawing couple concerning looks and she quickly waved it off with free hand. She's going to tell him, and what will be his answer? Toru wondered and she feels something stirring in her stomach, it bothered her for some reason. Oh, Shiratoko, you're back with Yanagi. Hanta was first to spot both Naruto and Tomoko with Reiko, who have a gloomy aura around her, and why are you carrying Hatsume? Almost everyone turned around to see Naruto carrying the sleeping Pinkette bride style. The girl was drooling with her arms around his neck. I found her. Naruto replied. Why you found her? The tape-elbowed teenager sweat dropped at his answer. Please don't tell me you decide to take people in now. My son comes across her while she was sleeping in the gutter and we can't leave her there, which is why he's carrying her. Tomoko laughed lightly as the Noumu put Mei down on a bench next to them. Hey, did you confess? Setsuna whispered to Reiko. No, everything keep getting in my way, Reiko exhaled. Several heard her with different reactions. Papa. Eri eagerly held a large cookie up to her father as soon as he sat down next to her, say ah. Ah. Naruto opened his mouth puzzlingly before the little girl pushed part of cookie into his mouth and he instinctively bite it. It's tasty, right? The young girl asked with a bright expression. It's a chocolate cookie with candies in it. Yes, it is. He nodded as his daughter gave him the rest of cookie happily then crawl onto his lap, resuming eat her lunch. Ah, no wonder why she saved this one and refused to give it to us all day. Setsuna chuckled at the sweet sight. That and you tend to eat everything that was handed to you. Yui said flatly and her friend don't look ashamed by that. After the announcement of MissCon winner, who happened to be Najire, the cultural festival was drawing close to the end as most classes start to clean up and Naruto was carrying Eri with most of his friends back to their dorm. Tomoko have left to chat with some teachers. The little girl appeared to be very tired from the excitement of today as her eyes closed and her arms wrap around his neck while holding onto her purse, filled with prizes and sweets. She's corked out, huh? Yugo chuckled lightly. Yeah, I guess she'll have a little nap time before dinner. Rikido said as everyone entered the dorm and Naruto lie Eri on sofa while Suyu fetched one of blankets from shared closet to put it over the little girl. Papa, Eri slowly creaking one of her eyes open as she looked up to Naruto and she sleepily waved him closer, the blonde take a knee to bend closer to her with a blink. I love you. She kissed his cheek before she went back to sleep with a small yawn and Naruto feels something warm bubbling up inside his chest, confusing himself. He get up with tilted head and he start to shift his weight from side to side few times as if he don't know what to do next. What's the matter? Kyoka noticed his action with a raised eyebrow. I'm confused. Naruto turned to her, when our daughter tell me she love me, my chest feel warm and funny. Funny, like what? The rocker thinks it over. Tingly and fuzzy, he reached up to touch his cheeks. I have strange twitches in my cheeks as if they want to go up for some reason. Oh, sounds like you're happy. Kyoka said, nothing like parental love to get you all warm and fuzzy inside when your little girl tell you she love you. I'm happy. Naruto blinked rapidly as he looked down to his hands, so that is how it feel like. Happy, parental love, it's so strange. Feelings are strange but you get used to it after a while, she said. I see. The Noumu muttered. It was nice of Yue to give us couple days off after the festival. Mina cheered as she lazing around on couch in common room. But we still have heroic lesson at afternoon while the support department has their own class. Fumikage pointed out, it only has been a day after the cultural festival. The reason why the school was given few days off is because there are still a lot of cleanup to do, considering the numerous of classes. Oh, right. The acid user rolled onto her stomach. What are we gonna learn today? Obstacle course with our quirks applying, Tenya replied. Again? Rikido groaned, don't we do that last week? When will there be a combat training? While the teenagers were discussing about upcoming training, Eri was watching a show as it get closer to end and she think about two things that she saw in this show. It make her curious and want to try them out. She get up to approach Naruto at homework table. The blonde was working on his homework with Yuga, Toru and Pony. Eri was about to reach up to get her papa's attention before she retracted, unsure if it's selfish or not. It's the first time she'll ask for something on her own. She pumped herself up before she tugged Naruto's shirt, drawing his attention to her. Yes, Eri? Naruto looked down to her. Eri fidgeted with her hands. Can I learn how to swim? And can we have a sleepover with all mamas? Ooh, sleepover. Toru perked up at the little girl's request before she picked her phone up to open the Unicorn Mom's chat group. Let me ask the girls. Sure, we will go to pool today. The Noumu get up, let's go get the swimsuits first. Okay, Papa. The little girl hopped excitedly as she held hands with her papa and they head to the elevator to fetch the swimsuits. I better send the request to Aizawa-sensei right now before they come down. Momo sent a text to her teacher before she paused for a moment, and I think I should go with them to make sure they do it safe and properly. She don't know if Naruto will teach Eri how to swim proper and what if Naruto mistakenly placed their daughter in deep end of the pool without safety tools like water wings. Alright, pool party. Mina grinned widely until she dropped it when she hears some lewd giggle in the background. Yao Momo, can you shoot one to sensei to ask Cementos to turn the school pool into indoor pool for today? So he can block perverts out? Already did and got both approved. The creator nodded as they ignored the sorrowful wail from the resident pervert. Hold still, Eri-chan. Suyu fastened the water wings on the little girl's forearms as Eri bounced back and forth in pure excitement. It's as if she have broke out from her shell during the festival and become a little hyper. Of course, she's still shy and sweet girl who would hide behind her father's legs whenever some strangers she don't know come up to talk to 1A classmates. Eri wear a one-piece pink with white polka dot swimsuit. Okay, all done. She bopped Eri's nose with index finger. You can go to your dad now. Thank, Sue Mama. Eri hugged her while pecking her cheek before she raced toward Naruto, who wear a orange and black swim pant, as Tenya shout, no running, which fall upon deaf ears. You're welcome. The frog teenager stand up as she take a glance around at the indoor pool. All of her female classmates were present along with several boys, Tenya, Yuga and Ejiro, and they were joined with the girls from 1B class with 2 boys, Tetsu and Juzo, and the big 3. Most of the boys from her class stay behind to keep one eye on Mineta and make sure you don't try to go to peek on the pool. But if the pervert slips past the boys, he will be stopped by Hound Dog outside, who have volunteered as the security of the pool. We should send him and Aizawa-sensei a thank you gift later. It was the underground hero's idea. Here. Yuga gave Eri a orange kickboard. You ready for your swimming lesson? Hi, Uncle Yuga. The little girl nodded eagerly. Please call me Big Brother instead. The French teenager looked dejected, despite a smile on his face as Naruto bring Eri into the swallow end of the pool with Abara and Itsuka. Eri have started to call few teenager boys who are close to her uncle and some uncles have mixed feelings for being called uncle by a girl who would pass off as their little sister. So what make Eri-chan want to do that? Setsuna asked Toru curiously. It was the invisible girl who invited them in first place. Dunno, she asked Naruto after her cartoon show. The invisible girl shrugged. Maybe it was showing sleepover in pool. Gotcha. The greenette hummed thoughtfully. Hey, now I think about it. It's first time Eri-chan asked for something herself. Oh, you're right. Toru clapped her hands together. She have become outgoing lately since yesterday. She giggled. Maybe we'll see more part of ourselves in her. I hope so. Setsuna laughed. You're doing great, Eri-chan. Itsuka coached the said girl with a gentle smile as Eri make efforts to kick her legs while Abara keep her hands under Eri to keep her floating. Don't make a big kick. Keep them small. Yes, like that. Good. Near them. Naruto stand awkwardly with his hands up while moving his torso side to side as if he's struggling to make some decisions. Shiratoko, come and help us fill them up. Mina waved him over as she tried her best to fill a tube up manually. Juzo, Tamaki and Ochako were using air pump to inflate pool floats up. Okay. Naruto joined their group to help them out. About 10 minutes later, most teenagers were relaxing around and some sweat drop at Naruto when he acting awkward again near his daughter. It's his first time in pool, right? Eijiro's sweat dropped slightly. Should we do something? I got this one. Setsuna grinned impishly before she hollered out to the Noumu. Shiratoko, you should know that. When you're at pool, the first thing you need to do is check the babes out. No, don't listen to her. Abara whipped her head around. Tokage. Nice, Mina laughed. Oi, several teenager yelled at the laughing reptile-loving teenager. What is babe? Naruto tilted his head confusingly and most teenagers stare at him with some pauses. Oh, babe is. The greenette with sharp teeth grinned teasingly, only to have her mouth covered by Abara's vines. Shiratoko, come and play with us. Itsuka called him over with a small sweat drop, holding Eri up. Yes, how do we play in the pool? Naruto walked over to them. We splash each other. The orangette splashed him with a small smirk and it became a big smile when Eri made many splashes at him with cute laughter. The blonde returned it with big splash, causing the girls to squeal out with laughter. No splashing. Tenya cried with chopping arms. Light up, bro. Ejiro waved it off with a light chuckle. Just let them have their fun. It's good for them. Most teenagers nodded in agreement. BB but it's against. The speedster stuttered. Is he always like that? Juzo whispered to Pony in English. Yup, but you'll get used to him after a while. Pony laughed before she jumped into the pool, then swim toward the trio. Let me join, tag team, Shiratoko. I'm coming in. Reiko immediately joined to get close to her crush and hope that he'll notice her two-piece swimsuit. Oh, I get some water guns for the water battle. Nejire jumped in with 2 small water guns and several teenagers take part in the water battle with guns and balloons. No, cease it right now. Tenya cried out before he slumped on his limbs when no one listened to him. TT the rules, the order. There. The softened user patted the dejected speedster's back awkwardly while everyone have fun together in their own ways. Alright, the first ever family slumber party start now. Mina cheered with several girls as they lift a cup up. The girls were in the large room on 3rd floor in their pajamas and May was also present in the group. The couches and sofas have been pushed back to the walls and there is a princess castle-style tent in the back with child-sized sleeping bag inside. Cheer! Most teenager girls said together. Cheer! Eri lifted a glass of apple juice up above her head as she sit on Naruto's laps. The girl wear yellow pajamas set with white sleeves and picture of cartoonish fox on chest and the Noumu wear orange t-shirt with black pajama. I'm surprised we were able to get permission from senseis right away. Kanoko sipped her soda with a smile. Well, they were okay with it as long as we stay inside the dorms past curfew. Itsuka said. They trust us to not do anything crazy. She shot Setsuna a warning look and the said girl just held her hands up with a toothy grin. What does one do at sleepover? Naruto asked and Eri realized that she don't know anything about sleepover so she looked at the girls curiously. It depends because there are really a lot of things, Toru said. Share stories, play games, watch movies, talking and etc. It's up to whoever hosting the sleepover, which is Eri-chan. She tilted her body toward the said girl. What do you want to do? Oh, Eri scrunched her face in deep thought before she gasped. Oh, movie and games. Since the games will take long time to finish, we'll start with the movie first. Momo set up the projector, connected to a laptop and she pulled up a list of family-friendly movies. Eri-chan, pick out what you want to see. I'll make a quick run to the kitchen to make us some popcorn. Ochako swiftly leave the room with Suyu, then they came back few minutes later with few bowls of popcorn as Eri finally find a movie that catch her interest and everyone make themselves comfortable. What did she chose? Suyu asked Momo. 101 Dalmatians. The creator answered. Of course she'll pick this one. The frog girl giggled with Croak's noise. Dogs are her favorite animals. True. Momo cracked a smile. The little girl really enjoys playing with puppies and there's always a puppy sleeping with her every night. Snugglebug. Nejire suddenly wrap a fuzzy blanket around Eri, Naruto and herself then tickling the little girl's stomach to make her giggle. What's Snugglebug? Eri asked with some giggles. Someone that you really love very much that you want to snuggle up to all day and night. The wave user replied as she nuzzled her cheek against the little girl's head, and you're my Snugglebug. Is Papa Snugglebug? The little girl wiggled closer to cuddle up in between Naruto and Nejire. Yes, he is. Nejire leaned against the Numu's shoulder to make herself comfortable. Mamas too? Eri asked. Yeah, they can be. The blue-haired teenager smiled down to her. The little girl turned to the teenager girls around her with her arms up. Mamas, please Snugglebug with us. Okay. Reiko immediately claim a place next to Naruto before anyone can blink. Her arms wrap around his arm under the blanket. Oh, I'm afraid there are not enough room for everyone to get under this blanket. Itsuka smiled as the little girl pouted while several girls joined the cuddling group on different sides. But tell you what, we'll take turns to be your Snugglebugs. Okay. Eri brightened up before she turned her attention to the movie as soon as it started and the teenagers quietly eat their snacks, make some small talks in soft tone. Let me go up there, Mineta screamed with blood tears as he struggled to escape the tapes that bound him to the wall in common room. I want to join the slumber party and watch them do dirty things like playing strip games, make out and groping Momo's TI. No, we are not allowed to join their sleepover. Tenya stopped him, please respect their wishes. Oh, so it's okay for this Shiratoko bastard to be there with them? The pervert glared dirty. I bet you right now, he's foo. Eri want her father to be there with them and the girls allow it because they trust him well enough to not do anything to them, unlike you. The speedster cut him off. Yeah, she wants it to be family-only slumber party. Eijiro tossed some chips inside his mouth as the boys watched some action movie on television. We should go up there right now or they'll say they're his bitches when they come down tomorrow morning. Mineta shouted. Let's go up and get our dicks sucked and pound. He was immediately shut up when Honda taped his mouth shut. Geez. Sometime I wonder how the hell did this guy pass the exam in first place. Honda exhaled annoyingly. He also wonder why he don't tape this pervert's mouth in first place. Same here, you could assume that a famous school like UA would run background check on possible students but I guess I was wrong about that. Mezzo said before he noticed something. Todoroki, what are you doing? The girls asked me to write everything Mineta said down and give it to them tomorrow so they can decide what to do with him. Shoto wrote into a notepad. Welp, better find a shovel and start digging a hole. Eijiro snickered and the pervert paled with trembling body. After played few board games, Eri walked around with sleepy expression and a small smile as she gave everyone hugs and goodnight kisses while Setsuna waited for her to go inside the tent so she can tuck her in. Naruto was petting a pitbull puppy next to the greenette. Good night, Toru mama. Eri hugged the said teenager before she walked up to the tent, crawl inside and into her sleeping bag. Comfy? Setsuna asked, placing few stuffed animals closer to the little girl while Naruto put the puppy down as the creature rested its head on top of Eri's torso. Yes. The little girl ran her hand through the puppy's fur with small yawns. Did you have fun today? Naruto asked. Yes, Papa, Eri smiled brightly. I have a lot of fun. We're going to zip it up, but don't worry, we're right outside if you need us for something, the greenette said. Okay. Eri replied before she received and give good night kisses from Naruto and Setsuna. Night, Set mama, Papa. She slowly fall asleep together with the puppy as Setsuna quietly zipped the tent flap up to close before the teenagers joined the rest a little far away from the tent. The light dimmed down a little. Is she asleep now? Pony asked them. Yup, she passed out almost right away. Setsuna chuckled. Now she won't be up until tomorrow morning. The little girl turned out to be a heavy sleeper and would sleep through pretty much anything until one of her parents wake her up with a gentle shake. So now what? Momo asked curiously. Let's watch some cheesy rom-com movies. Toru smiled widely with waving arms and some girls seems to agree with her. Or, the reptile-loving teenager gained a mischievous expression as she jiggled a bottle up by its neck. We can play truth or dare. Some gasped in shock and the greenette can see her friends about to shout at her, family friendly, of course. That did shut some up but they still looked doubtful about it. What is truth or dare? The creator asked innocently as she turned to someone next to her, who happened to be Naruto. I don't know. Naruto replied, maybe they'll explain it to us? No, Kyoko waved hand in front of her face. Let's just watch something. There's no way she'll let her friends do something embarrassing or be tainted by something. I don't know, Toru hummed. I want to play this game instead. I'm not sure about it, Abara muttered and most started debating about it for a while until. Hey, how about we put it to vote? Setsuna said, truth or dare game or movie times. Whatever win, we all go ahead and do it. Most girls think it over few times before they accept it and they write it down in papers that Momo was kind enough to produce with her quirk. Unfreaking believable. Kyoko grumbled with a twitching eyebrow as the girls and Naruto sit in a circle with bottle in middle and they were all sitting randomly. I can't believe how many of you all vote for this game. Some gave her a teasing smirk or refused to meet her eyes. Before we start the game, let me explain the rules to the first timers. Setsuna glanced around with an exciting grin. We are playing a spinning the bottle version of truth or dare. A player will spin the bottle and ask a person to choose truth or dare whom the bottle pointing at after its spin. If you chose truth, the player will ask you any question and you have to answer it truthfully. If you go with the dare, you have to do the dare that the player gives you. If you refuse to answer or do the dare, you'll get a punishment, which is a flick to forehead. The person that got picked will spin the bottle and ask the next person truth or dare and so on. Everyone clear? Most gave her understanding nods. Question? Momo raised her hand up. How do you end the game? Usually, it end when most agreed to stop the game there. The greenette with sharp teeth answered and the creator bring her hand down with a small nod. Alright, I'll start. No, I'm starting it first. Itsuka reached out to the bottle as the greenette stared at her with dropped jaw, because I know you. You'll say something inappropriate and demand us to go big to top the last one. Yeah, you got me there. Setsuna sighed, go and spin the bottle. The battle fist user spun the bottle and everyone waited with bated breath until it stopped pointing to. Suyu, truth or dare? The orangette asked. Truth. The frog girl chose without any hesitance. Let's see, Itsuka think about it, who do you text the most? My parent. Suyu answered, I texted them almost every day to let them know that I'm okay and how's my siblings doing. Oh, and to send them pictures of Eri-chan. The orangette nodded at that. It's my turn to spin it, right? She spun the bottle until it stopped. Kanoko, truth or dare? Dare. Kanoko replied. I dare you to call one of your friend, pretending it's their birthday and sing them happy birthday, the frog girl said. Ooh, nice. Mina snickered along with few girls. Oh, that's easy. The mushroom user pulled her phone out then calls someone. Hey, what's up? A male voice spoke and the brunette suddenly sang a happy birthday song to him. Happy birthday. Kanoko giggled. WW what? It's not my bye. The voice stuttered in pure confusion before the mushroom girl hung up on it and most girls laughed together. WW who was it? Toru asked through some giggles. Fukidashi, from 1B class. The giggling brunette spun the bottle. You understand how it play now, right? Ochako smiled to Momo and Naruto. Hi, I think I understand it now. Momo nodded with clasped hands, seemed to be eager as the Noumu nod. Setsuna, truth or dare? Kanoko asked. Hit me with the truth. Setsuna smirked. If there is anything you should change about yourself, what would it be? The mushroom user asked. Nothing, I'm perfect as the way I am. The greenette puffed her chest up proudly, earned couple eye rolls. Alright, my turn. She spun the bottle eagerly and almost every girl held their breath. Mina, truth or dare? Dare. Mina grinned eagerly. I dare you to let everyone here look through your phone for a minute. Setsuna grinned coyly. Go ahead, I get nothing to hide. The acid user unlocked her phone so everyone can look through it for a whole minute, and the reptile-loving girl was disappointed to find nothing dirty inside. Alright, who'll be my victim? The pink-skinned girl spun the bottle with a wicked giggle. Ochako, truth or dare? Truth. The gravity girl decided to pick a safe option. Tell us, what do you really think of Midoriya? Mina grinned wickedly, and the brunette now regret her choice as most turned to her curiously. He's nice and good friend, Ochako said. I really respect and admire him for working hard toward his goal. That's not what I mean. The pink-skinned girl groaned. I mean, what do you think of him in romantic sense? No. There's nothing between us. The gravity girl waved her hands frantically. We're friends, just friends. Are you sure about that? Mina smirked. Hey, lay off. Itsuka decided to step in. You just asked her what she think of her friend and she told you the truth. The acid user backed off with a childish pout before the orangeette turned to the gravity girl. Go ahead and spin the bottle. Thank. Ochako quickly spun the bottle right away with a thought in her head, but I don't know about my feeling for Deku. The bottle stopped. Hatsume, truth or dare? Truth. Mei shrugged her shoulders. What's, the gravity girl struggled, your favorite, food? She finished lamely. Chocolate. The pinkette replied before she spun the bottle. Yaoyorozu, truth or dare? Truth. Momo clapped. Can you create a tungsten staff with diamond caps? Mei asked. Wah, the creator blinked for a moment before she pondered on it. I don't. Wait, can I? She held her palm up before a tungsten staff with diamond caps expand out with a pop, and the creator stared at it bewilderedly. Yes, I can. She seems to have a little mental breakdown. Why don't I think of that? I think we need a little break. Kyoka placed hand on her best friend's shoulder with concern. The game resume, and there were a lot of turns as Mina asked the next person, Shiratoko, the father of our sweet angel, truth or dare? I chose truth. Naruto replied, and the acid user's grin widened as her eyes darted to two certain girls. If two girls ask you out on a date and want to be your girlfriends, what would you do? The acid user asked. Out on a date? The blonde blinked. Do you mean? Hold on, let me explain dates and girlfriends to him first. Mina held her hand up to everyone with a weary sigh. Sometimes she forget how innocent the resident Noumu can be, and little dense. She gave him a quick explanation, even used internet on her phone to help him understand. Get it? I understand. Naruto nodded, and to answer your question, I will be honest, I do not understand the concept of romantic relationship, intimate love and many other things, but if two girls want to date me, I suggest us to try polyamory relationship. Wait, excuse me? The acid girl gave him a funny look. Polyamory, I mean, you have to pick one. Why? The Noumu blinked. According to the laws, polyamory relationship is not illegal. Really? Mina bring her phone up to look it up. Holy, I don't know that. Quiet. Abara shushed her, glancing back at the tent to make sure they don't accidentally wake their daughter up with the pink-skinned girl's shout. It don't. Sorry. The acid user blushed embarrassingly, but if it's true, then why isn't there a lot of this kind of relationship around? Well, polyamory relationship is pretty rare. Suyu said as several girls looked at her curiously. My friend's mother is married to 2 men and 1 woman. What Suyu said is right. Momo confirmed. Polyamory relationship in Japan is not illegal for a long time, but it's less practiced. Why is it legal in first place? Mina asked, confused. To counter the lowest rate of birth, the government introduced the bill to make polygamous legal, and it was passed quietly, due to some circumstances. Naruto answered. The law wasn't discovered until over 5 decades have been passed, and instead of taking it down, they decided to hold it up since then. What circumstances? Toru asked, and some girls looked curious about that. The discovery of the quirks. He answered. Oh. The invisible girl uttered, and it was quiet for a moment until. I believe it's my turn to spin the bottle. Yes? Naruto reached down to spin the bottle, and some girls were grateful that he broke the silence. Tokage, truth or dare? Dare. Setsuna said upbeat. She was getting tired of people picking truth many times. I dare you to drink a cup of ramen broth in one shot. He lifted a red cup of pure ramen broth up to some confusions. When did you get that? Kyoka arched her eyebrow at him oddly. No one have seen him bring a ramen in or even eat it. Did he get another quirk without them knowing? Just now. Naruto replied. Yeah, hard pass. The greenette grimaced. She don't want to wreck herself up with sodium, and she don't know what temperature the broth is at. Then does that mean I have to flick your forehead? He asked. Yup. Setsuna pushed some hairs aside to reveal her forehead as the Noumu reached over to flick her. Hard. GG gak. She almost fall on her back as a red welt appeared on her forehead. GG's. You don't hold back, huh? Was I supposed to? No, you did good, Yui said, and some girls confirmed with some mutters while giggling at the groaning greenette. Alright, here we go. The reptile-loving girl spun the bottle before she smirked at them. I think it's time to ramp it up a little. The bottle stopped. Yanagi, truth or dare? Dare. Reiko answered. I dare you to cop butt of whomever the bottle land on. Setsuna grinned toothily, spinning the bottle with a flick. Naruto-kun, Naruto-kun, Naruto-kun. The ghost girl chanted mentally. She's tempted to use her quirk on the spinning bottle, but they'll catch her in act. The bottle end up pointing to. Yui raised up slightly on her knees as if she have already accepted her fate. Damn it. Reiko copped the emotionless girl's rear for a moment before she spun the bottle. Hagakure, truth or dare? Truth. Toru chirped. What's the craziest thing you have ever done? The ghost girl asked. Woo, that is going to be one long story. The invisible girl laughed. One time in middle school on a trip, I went to a onsen and several turns later and the game become a little wild but nothing more, due to a sleeping little girl intent. It was Toru's turn and everyone wait for the bottle to stop spinning. Naruto, truth or dare? Toru asked. I chose dare. Naruto replied. Let me think, I dare you to. The invisible girl think deeply on how to top the last dare. She decided to say the first thing that come to her mind. I dare you to give everyone here 10 surprising kisses each any day, anytime, anywhere. If the girls give you a kiss on their own, it don't count. Hagakure. Several girls cried out in shock. Some have different expressions ranging from embarrassing to blank. The girls quickly quieted down as they looked over to the tent to make sure they don't wake their daughter up. Eri was still sleeping to their relief. Kyoka turned her head to the invisible girl. Hey, just give him a different doll. Okay. Naruto nodded. I'll start now by giving everyone a kiss. He turned to his right, which happens to be Ochako. Wait. The gravity girl waved her hands with flustered face. Don. He pecked her cheek. Huh? She felt relieved that it was just a simple innocent kiss as the Noumu peck every teenager's cheeks before they know it. Done. Everyone have their first kiss, he nodded. Poot. Just a kiss on cheek? Setsuna pouted childishly. You should go with different kisses and anywhere on our body like French kiss. No, do not tell this pure soul to, Abara hissed. Okay. I shall give everyone different kind of kisses. Naruto nodded and the vine-haired teenager looked like she wanted to strangle her fellow greenette with her vines. He spun the bottle. Yongai, truth or dare? Dare me to do 7 minutes in heaven with you. Reiko spoke quickly. I dare you to do Sev, he said before Kyoka swiftly covered his mouth with a smack of her hand. Don't. Kyoka hissed before she shot the ghost girl a glare. You're not supposed to do that. Tell someone to give you a dare you want. He don't know what 7 minutes in heaven is. There were several girls who looked puzzled about 7 minutes in heaven. What is 7 minutes in heaven? Naruto asked as soon as the rocker removed her hand. Is it literal or figure of speech for something? See? The rocker deadpanned at her proven point. Shiratoko, give her different doll. You're just mad because you don't think it first, the ghost girl huffed. Wah? Kyoka widened her eyes at her with gaping mouth. Let's be real, you will tell him to do that if the bottle end up pointing at you so you can make out with him, Reiko said. No, I won't, the rocker half shouted with red face. Yes, you will. The ghost girl replied, if you think you can get ahead because Shiratoko's close to you out of everyone here, you're wrong because I'm not going down without a fight. Say the girl that kept chickening out every time. Setsuna whispered under her breath with a deadpan expression. Whoa, what the hell are you talking about? Kyoka held her hand out. Oh, don't pretend like there's nothing going on between you two, Reiko said. There is nothing going on between, the blushing rocker hissed before someone took an action without any warning as she opened the closet then grabs both girls by their arms. You know what? Mina suddenly dragged both Kyoka and Reiko toward the closet with unexpected strength. You guys talk it out together. Shiratoko, get in the closet. Okay. Naruto stepped inside the closet in puzzlement. What the heck are you doing, Ayashi? Kyoka cried out before she got shoved inside together with Reiko and the door closed on them. The rocker quickly reached for the knob, only to rattling it. This bitch. The acid user just blocked the door with something and she can hear some voices whispered shouting outside then there was nothing but silence. How the fuck did we end up in here? The rocker cussed mentally. Everything happened in a blur and she don't know how to react but one thing she know is, she is going to kill Mina as soon as they get out of this closet. Why are we in the closet? The blonde suddenly asked as the rocker spun around to face him, up close. The closet was pretty narrow yet can fit 3 people in, despite how cramped it feel right now. I assume we're doing 7 minutes in heaven. Reiko shot Kyoka a sideway look, with someone unenvy. We are not doing this game. Kyoka cut her off with a hiss, we should do something to get out of here. Then you can get out so we can make out. The ghost girl narrowed her eyes. No, you can't make out with him. The rocker rubbed her forehead annoyingly. Why not? Reiko glared at her. I love him more than you do and I always have since the first day we met. There was a pause for few moments before the ghost girl remembered her crush is inside with them as her face become red. So you love me? Naruto tilted his head as the ghost girl wanted to die from embarrassment. That is not how she wanted her confession to go. I see, you love me and I believe I'm in love with Jiro. He cupped his chin. How interesting, is that a coincidence when Ishido asked me about it earlier? His gaze shifted to the girls in front of him. To repeat myself, I will be honest, I do not understand the concept of romantic relationship and intimate love. As you two know, I am inexperienced in many things and incapable of understanding emotions and social cues. May I suggest us to try polyamory relationship? Maybe it will help us understand our feelings and learn more about ourselves. I admit, as well as we know, I'm very inexperienced when it comes to that, but one thing I know is that I will try my best to make you two happy. He paused. Is that okay for us to try? Shire, Kyoka muttered. Does that mean I'm your girlfriend now? Reiko cut her off, perking up, and the rocker looked at her bewilderedly. Yes, if you wish to, I'll accept you. Naruto nodded. Then I will. The ghost girl squealed happily. Hey, do you know that mean you have to share him? The bewildered rocker stared at her. I'm fine as long as I'm with him, and beside, we just confirmed that polyamory relationship is legal not long time ago. Reiko replied as she leaned her front against Naruto's chest to nuzzle her face into it happily, and the rocker don't know whether to facepalm or sweat drop with twitching eyebrow. Jiro? The Noumu turned his face to her. What about you? What, me? Kyoka turned to him with a rapid blinks. Will you accept me as your boyfriend? Naruto asked her as the ghost girl snuggled up to his chest. Can we please give it a try? But, the rocker stuttered, completely at loss for words before she threw her hands up. You know what? Fine. I'm giving it a chance. She froze still as soon as she realizes what she just said. Wait, did I just? She became confused as she glanced up to Naruto. Does that mean she have some feeling for him? But how can it be? They have been friends for few months, not to mention everything they went through. Before Kyoka can think more about it, she decided to go fuck it and leave it to her future self to figure herself out. She nearly squeaked out when Naruto slid his left arm behind her, then pulled her in a hug. Why did you do that? She asked with a blush across her nose. Her jacks become a little haywire. To make our relationship status official. He tilted his head. Don't new couples accept each other by hugging the moment they get in a relationship? Or am I mistaken? And no. Why you're not, I guess. Kyoka rested her head on his chest with a growing blush. You know there is another way to make it official? Reiko finally speak up after stay quiet. We kiss and make out. After all, we're doing 7 minutes in heaven right now. No, that's not true, the blushing rocker hissed, only to be cut off. What's make out? Naruto asked, and can someone please tell me what 7 minutes in heaven is? 7 minutes in heaven is a game where you go in closet with someone else and stay in there for 7 minutes. The ghost girl explained quickly before the rocker can get a chance to stop her. You can just kiss, make out, talk, or wait it out for 7 minutes. And for make out, why don't I show you instead? She suddenly cupped his face, then mashed their lips together. Her tongue shot into his mouth and it snaked around. Kyoka looked away with red face, due to embarrassment and awkward. And to think she was so nervous and timid when she was trying to confessing to him. Kyoka tapped the tips of her jacks together while the one-side makeout continued. If she wasn't embarrassed, she would laugh at how Naruto looked like right now, just stand there with blank face while the ghost girl make out passionately with him. To her relief, the ghost girl finally break apart with a heavy pant. That is makeout. Reiko pecked his lip. I see. The blonde blinked before his head turned to the rocker, startled her. I'm not gonna make out with you right now. The blushing rocker glanced away as he kept staring. I want to take it slow. Take it slow? Naruto tilted his head. I'll explain later. Kyoka replied, and there was nothing but silence as she found herself snuggling up in her new boyfriend's arms with Reiko. You should kiss him. The ghost girl said to the rocker out of blue as the earjack user dropped her jaw, just a quick peck on lip. So I don't feel bad about making out with him again. If you refuse to, I'll tell him to use up one of your 9 surprise kisses and it'll be make out 1. You're not going to. She looked at her with widened eyes and the ghost girl just stared back with one visible eye. Fine. The rocker muttered under her breath as she tilted her head up to Naruto before she closed her eyes with puckered up lips. Slowly rise herself up with nervous tremble and she can feel her lips met his lip for a moment. With a chaste peck, Kyoka quickly pulled back with atomic blush. She can feel her lips tingly. Is it normal to feel tingly in lips? Naruto asked them. Maybe. Reiko replied. Now pucker up, before she can jump on him again. The door swing open. Are you 3 okay? Itsuka asked. Sorry that we don't open this door sooner because Ashido was. The red-faced rocker power walked past her to jab one of her jack into Mina's side, causing the acid user to yelp out. That was for shoving us in the closet, Kyoka hissed. Ooh, that hurts. Mina held her sore side with a whine. I think you broke one of my ribs. Did you enjoy the 7 minutes in heaven? Setsuna teased with a grin, or should I say 15 minutes in heaven? Yes, I enjoy it very much. Reiko stepped out with Naruto behind her. In fact, Jiro and I are now in polyamory relationship with Shiratoko. Hey. The rocker's face turned red again as almost everyone nearly dropped their jaws with rapid blinks at the news. Some looked shocked, torn, or have different reactions. Yes, we're in a polyamory relationship, Naruto confirmed. Jiro, Momo looked at her best friend in amazement and the rocker clamped her mouth together with heavy blush. Dom. The reptile-loving girl whistled, just like that, huh? Maybe I should get into that. She laughed teasingly. If that's what you want then okay, I'll accept you. The Noumu replied. The greenette's laughter ceased with few blinks. I was just kidding, Setsuna muttered, wondering if he was joking or taking it seriously. Can I join? Toru slowly raised her hand up with a timid tone. If that's okay with you? Yes. Naruto nodded. Really? She gasped happily. Awesome. Hagakuri? Mina widened her eyes at her close friend along with few other girls. I kinda have a crush on him for a while. The invisible girl looked down at her feet with heavy blush. And he's the only one who can see me, as in see me. Several girls become understanding right away because Toru's quirk can't be turned off, therefore robbed her of some certain things and always get overlooked by almost everyone, even if they don't mean to. Shiratoko, make me your girlfriend, Yui hummed. Okay. Naruto nodded again. Ooh, can I be one too? Nejire waved hand above her head with a megawatt grin and a little bounce of her heels. Okay. He nodded again for who know how many times. Hold on. Kyoka stepped in. Shiratoko, you can't just accept everyone in a heartbeat without any reasons. She sharply turned to both Yui and Nejire. And you too, what the hell? Why do you want to join us? 2 reasons. The stone-faced girl held 2 fingers up, good father material, and a damn good cuddler. I'd fuck. Don't you finish this sentence. Itsuka stopped her friend as she rubbed her forehead wearily and Yui just hummed quietly. I'm so curious what's it like to dating someone in polyamory. The wave flow user tapped her cheek with a wondering expression. Oh, and Shiratoko's quirk is really interesting. If I stick with him, I gotta see all new different quirks and ask him a bunch of questions. And, she turned her head to the tent with a smile. There's our daughter. She's so precious and I want to be part of her life. Just for these reasons. The rocker dipped her head down as she rubbed her forehead annoyingly. From now on, if anyone here, for some reason, want to be with Shiratoko, ask us instead of him and it better be good one. Why do we have to ask? Mina trailed off when the rocker gestured to Naruto with a deadpan expression. Never mind. Honestly, it happened so suddenly that she can't even keep up. Anyway, if one of you girls want to join, speak up now. Kyoka continued to rub her temples and no one say anything until someone approached her side, whispering things into her ear. Okay. Really? Oh, okay. The rocker listened to her with few nods and couple eye-widening moments before she turned to Naruto with flat look. Shiozaki's your girlfriend now. Abara have give her some good explanation why she should join them, like protecting Naruto's pure, prevent the other girls from teaching him certain things and attempt to rush their relationship to next levels and to make sure that Eri don't pick things up from them, considering how impressionable she can be. Yup. Kyoka will take any helps and she trusts Abara enough not to go any farther than kiss and hand holdings. Okay. Naruto replied and Kyoka looked around to see if anyone else is stepping up, but nothing happened much to her relief. How did she go from single to sevens in polyamory relationship in a single night? Anyone want to go back playing truth or dare, or Ochako asked dumbly. Or we can watch bunch of bad movies to turn our brains off for a while? The rocker sighed. I feel like we need it right now. Good idea. I'm down for movies. Yes, most girls agreed before they picked some movies out online to watch, munching on their snacks. Some were still in daze or baffled by the whole thing. It's morning when Eri wake up on her own as she rubbed her eyes sleepily and she crawl out of her tent, glancing around to see her mamas sitting in their sleeping bags both on floor and couches. Oh, morning, sleepyhead. Suyu was first to notice her as everyone turned to the little girl. Morning, Su mama. Eri let out a tiny yawn. Where's papa? Feeding the animals, he'll be back. The frog girl answered right before Naruto walked in. Papa, the little girl approached him with a sleepy smile as she stretched her arms up. Morning. Morning, Eri. Naruto picked her up as she wrapped her arms around his neck and she kissed his cheek. What do you want for breakfast? Apples, pancake, eggs, Eri hummed sleepily, everything. Ooh, a breakfast feast. Nejire wrapped her arms around them in a hug as she pecked the little girl's cheek. Then Naruto's, it sounds really good to me right now. I'll prepare the pancake. If we're going to have a feast, is there enough ingredients in your kitchen? Kanoko asked worriedly as everyone started to get up. Should be, Suyu replied. I was told that our dorm have 5 times the amount of foods, considering Yaomomo's quirk. I need a lot of lipids to prepare myself for a day. Momo said, somewhat a little embarrassed, and Eri noticed that some of her mamas hug her papa with a kiss in few, but she don't question it for now as she rests her head on Naruto's shoulder to close her eyes for a few minutes. Hey, good morning. Eijiro greeted the girls and Naruto once they reached the common room. The boys were up. Papa, why is creepy Mineta taped to wall? Eri asked curiously as soon as she wake up again by the hardened user's loud greeting. It turned out that the pervert had been stuck to the wall the whole night and morning. It's to stop him from doing bad things. Kyoka grunted instead of the Noumu. Oh, like when Papa beat him up? The little girl asked innocently as the rocker nodded. Okay then. Hey, have you boys eaten already? Momo asked them politely. We're going to have a breakfast feast and we wonder if you guys want to join us? The boys agreed right away since they were hungry and they start to make breakfasts for everyone as Naruto placed Eri in her chair, pouring her apple juice in a glass. Eri lifted up with her hands to take a sip before she looked up to the Noumu as he helped making breakfast. Papa, why did mamas hug and kiss you? There was some loud chattering noise when couple boys dropped forks and knives on floor from shock. Who did? Honda choked on his spits with few stutter. Hyo mama, Ne mama, Yui mama, Toru mama, Rei mama and Abara mama. The little girl answered while taking another sip of her juice innocently. Rei mama, Yui mama and Ne mama kissed papa and Hyo mama and Abara mama hugged him. Ah, they're my girlfriends now. Naruto said to his daughter, we're in polyamory relationship as of last night. Most boys dropped their jaws at him before all boys whipped their heads to the said girls with widened eyes. Polly. Eri tilted her head in pure confusion at a new and hard word. Here's your apple slices. Kyoka quickly placed a plate of apple slices in front of Eri and thanked Cammy. The little girl dropped everything in favor of eating her favorite food. DDD did they say? Rikido stuttered in shock, can't believe what he's hearing right now. Oh, it's true. Reiko wrapped her arms around Naruto's left arm with her head on his shoulder happily. We got together last night. Why yes, it just happened. Abara blushed in embarrassment and both Toru and Kyoko refused to meet their male classmates' eyes. Believe us, we were shocked when it sprang up out of nowhere, Itsuka admitted to the shocked boys. See? Mineta screeched with bloody tears. I told you, he have a harem? And one of them is the sexy senpai. I bet you the next thing is he, LL get youted. Shiratoko, sock him in mouth. Kyoka said irritatingly as she covered the little girl's ears and the said boy punched the screaming pervert in mouth, knocking him out in process. Feast's ready. Momo held a tray of stacking pancakes up awkwardly as couple other girls placed some breakfast foods on table and almost everyone start eating, some bewildered and stunned. Fumikage suddenly squeezed in the common room a couple days later before Ochako looked to him with concern. Catch a cold? Everything alright? No, Fumikage sniffled. I'm healthy. Mucus was just acting up. What's that supposed to mean? Mina asked. Maybe someone's talking about you. Hanta teased, like Yao Momo. What? Momo raised her eyebrow at him puzzlingly. Oh, Tokiyami have a lot of fans, wouldn't he? The Gravity Girl said out of blue. After all, he interned at Hawk's place. No, I doubt I have any. The bird-headed boy shook his head. It's a bit too early for that. They're here. Everyone. Tenya suddenly catch their attentions to the front door before a certain team come inside, a reception. Locking on with sparkling eyes, Shino grinned. Here to lend a helping paw, Tomoko hopped. Coming out of nowhere, Yuara growled with a box in his hands. Stingingly cute and catty. Ryuko grinned widely before they take a pose together. We're the wild Pussycats. Pussycats. Toru ran over with everyone. It's been a while. You all look well, my little kittens. The blonde woman grinned with hands on her hip. I'm sorry, I wasn't able to protect you back then, Yuara said, referred to the training camp incident. We're all doing well. Kyoka smiled. They brought cat paw buns. Mina held the box up over her head. They bought cat paw buns. Ochako cheered with Toru. Koda-kun. Izuku noticed the little boy behind the team. Long time no see. He shook his hands. Thank for the letter. I've been treasuring it. It's, Koda huffed, whatever. Midoriya-kun, look. The left woman pointed to the shoes in foyer. Hey, stop it, the little boy gasped. He picked it himself. Shino giggled. It gotta be red, he said. Hey. Koda waved his arms. That's not true. Look like we match now. Izuku smiled and the little boy looked bashful. But why have you guys come to UA? Rikido asked with tray of cups, visiting Shiratoko. We came to celebrate her reinstatement. Ryuko said as some teenagers cleaned up the common room for the team to sit. Reinstatement? Someone gasped, congratulations. Ragdoll, you've returned. The greenette looked to the said woman. Weren't you on a break from active duty after Kamino incident? Yup. Tomoko grinned. Also, it'll be broadcasted soon, but this time, in the second half of the year, we were 411th on the JP Hero Billboard chart. Shino said. You guys were ranked 32 last time, Izuku said. So that's why you're back at it. Eijiro clenched his fists, because you all dropped down so suddenly, it's a fight. Wrong, meow, Tomoko said. We were shocked that, despite being completely inactive, we're still in the triple digits. In terms of approval rating, we've always stand out, Yuara said. It means there are fans who are waiting for us, Ryuko smiled. We can't be complacent with where we are now. The search user bent her torso sideways. Is that so? The redhead cried. You guys are so manly, wild pussycats. Billboard. Pony hummed. Oh, that's right, the second semester ranking haven't been presented yet, the acid user said. Probably because so much has happened. The sugar power user commented, a Billboard chart without All Might, huh? Wonder how it'll turn out. The invisible girl waved her arms, it's exciting. Oh, where are my little kittens? The search user asked and as soon as she finished her question, the elevator opened with a ding before Naruto stepped out, carrying Eri with one arm. And I want to learn how to paint. Eri babbled to him, holding onto his shoulders while looking into her father's eyes. All of these, can we? Yes, we can do them all as much as you want. Naruto nodded to her. What kind of painting do you want to try first? There's different kind of paints. The little girl perked up with a joyful gasp. Like what? Kittens. Tomoko zoomed to them with a megawatt grin. Grandmama. Eri perked up again as the blonde handed her over to the search user for a hug. Are we going out today? Not today, little kitten. The search user kissed her silly, making the little girl giggling before she put her down so she can hug her son. How are you today, my kitten? I'm doing fine, mother. The blonde replied. What did you call me? Tomoko jerked her head back with widened eyes as she held him at arm lengths. Did she imagine it or did he just? I call you mother. Naruto answered and the search user gave out and gasped with tears welling up in the corner of her eyes. See, can you see, call me mommy or Ka-san? The search user asked tearfully. Okay. I shall call you mommy from now on, he said. How are you, mommy? Oh, I'm so happy. Tomoko pulled her son back in a tight hug as she cried out in joy. My baby boy finally calls me mommy. Her son hugged back in puzzlement, wondering why his mother react like that, and several people that watched them just smile. A few minutes later, the search user makes sure to introduce her son to her team and little boy, demanding him to call them aunts, uncle and cousin since they are considered as her family. So tell me what's news with you two? She asked Naruto and Eri with a beaming smile as most gather near the television, waiting for the ranking Billboard show to start. Oh, I learned how to swim in pool and it was really fun. Eri chirped to her grandmother as they sit together on a sofa. Then I had sleepover with Papa and all mamas. Oh, sound like you has a blast. The search user laughed. Yup. The little girl smiled brightly, and Papa said he have 6 girlfriends now. Some swear they hear a record scratching and everyone turned to stare at the mother. My son have what? Tomoko gained a 1,000-yard stare, praying it's a prank. I have 6 girlfriends. Naruto replied, it's polyamory. I want the names. The search user uttered, and then I'm going to kill your dad for not telling me that. Present Mike doesn't know about it. Rikido spoke up awkwardly, it's pretty recent. My girlfriends are Jiro, Hagakure, Reiko, Hado, Shiozaki and Kodai. The Noumu answered and his mother sharply turns her head to 2 said girls as they jumped lightly. Surprise? Toru smiled nervously, despite the fact that only one person can see her nervous expression, and the rocker glanced away from the mother of her boyfriend bashfully as she fidgeted with her jacks. If it's open, then maybe I'll, Ryuko smirked before Yuara slapped a hand over her mouth. Tell me how far have you get with my little kitten? Tomoko hissed lowly as her protective nature kicked in. We just hugged and hold hands, that's it, Kyoka lied with waving hand. What she said? Toru nodded rapidly. Naruto was about to add something but Tsuyu silently covered his mouth behind his mother's back while whispering something in his ear before she released him as he give her understanding nod. He don't know that there are some secrets that he can't tell his parents and kisses is one of them. Really? Tomoko stared at the girls with hard gaze. Really, both Kyoka and Toru said together. After this show, we're going to have a long talk. The search user muttered, she will get everything on her son's girlfriends and see if they have some dirty ulterior motive toward her sweet little kitten. That and she want her son to stay naive and innocent for a few years. GG gotcha. The blushing rocker nodded together with the invisible girl. Oh, it's starting, Izuku called out as the Billboard show come on and everyone watched the interviews while both Kyoka and Toru tried their best to ignoring Tomoko's burning stare on their backs. After the show, Naruto's girlfriends end up have a very long conversation with Tomoko and couple hours later, the poor present Mike were twitching on ground with frothing mouth, had been hit by his girlfriend's Bug's prank as he wondered what he did to deserve that. It barely have been couple days as the teenagers do their homework or loitering around with the television on until the breaking news suddenly take over the channel on television in a show Endeavor fighting a unique Noumu in a bloody match as the screaming people run everywhere. Naruto, take Eri back to your room. Kyoka quickly blocked the television so the little girl won't see anything gore. Let's go. Naruto picked Eri up then carried her to the elevator to go to their room. What's going on? Eri asked with a paper in her hands. We don't want you to see something scary on television, he replied. Oh, okay. The little girl uttered before they get inside the elevator and once the teenagers make sure they have left, Ejiro turned the volumes up. The battle has become intense as it looked like the unique Noumu get upper hand and Aizawa quickly entered the dorm to see that they were watching the news. Dad. Shoto shouted as Endeavor unleashed his special move on monitor. I am watching. The battle come to end as the burning creature crashed down onto the ground and the flame hero slowly stand up in a victory pose. The dual-haired teenager squat down in relief as his friends gather around in sign of support until hey, it's up again. Mineta screamed and everyone turned to the television again in alarm as the burning creature slowly gets up. Damn it. Enji cussed on Hawk's shoulder as the high-end Noumu weakly lift its body up. I used everything I have and it's up again. Signal connection. The high-end Noumu spoke with echoing tone and the flame hero immediately noticed that the monitors were ringing with its voice, also noticed that the villain was speaking without its stutter. What you have witnessed here today is a little taste of what will come. The creature craned its long neck down to stare at the heroes with its empty eyes. The old era will fall and the new era will come. The new era. Hawk muttered under his breath with furrowed brows and it seems that the creature have hear him. That's right, the era of evolution. The creature laughed coldly. Our era. The perfect beings. I heed you to count your days while they last, for we have arrived and we will cleanse the world anew in the name of our Savior. Everything will return to the one as it should be. The Legion will see to it. Everything, return. Enji uttered in confusion. What are you talking about? What's everything? The one? My Savior, I return to you. The high-end Noumu raised its head up to the sky as it crumbled into ashes. I thank you, for the gifts. The creature's body breaks down completely and the heroes stare on in confusion and suspicion. Everyone stare at the television in silence. What the fuck? Mineta broke it with shaking legs. I dunno, Fumikage frowned. A fanatic. Must be, Suyu said with finger on her chin. It's not odd for a sentient Noumu to have their own personality, and we know too personally. Several teenagers agreed with her. Salad is eccentric merry-going Noumu who loved to sing at random, and Naruto is Naruto. Everyone decided to drop it for now and preferred to support Shoto. May tighten a nut in her latest baby, a drone with freeze ray, and she sneak a glance at the blast shield door once in a while. She feel confusing lately after the sleepover, it's really strange. Why does she want Naruto to visit her? Is it because she want to know if he get any new quirks that must inspire her to make more babies and test them out with him? What if he get too busy because he now have girlfriends? She have seen some of her classmates' friends come by for visitation, then when these friends get in relationship, it become less and less until she don't remember seeing them around. Will it happen with her? Only see him once in a while? There's another strange feeling inside her. What would she do? What can she do? Oh, idea. Solution. I'll be right back. May suddenly ran out. Oi! Power loader screamed. Turn the wielder off first before. There was an explosive. Phew, not again. The tense is in present because it. Hizashi wrote on the blackboard as the 1A class copy it down in their notebooks while Eri worked on her own English lesson, and it was quiet. Hey, Naruto. Until May shatter it by opened the sliding door with a slam, causing the startled voice hero to yelp out as most students jumped up in their seats. I'm your girlfriend now, okay. Her solution to her issue is do what Naruto did, get in a relationship and figure it out herself. Okay. Naruto replied. Great, May grinned. See you later. Bye, Eri-chan. The pinkhead ran away through the hallway back to her department. Bye, May mama. Eri waved bewilderingly. Hold on. Kyoka shouted out with hands on desk before she suddenly plopped back in her seat with a facepalm. Shiratoko, what did I just said? Ah, I forget. The Noumu looked back to her, sorry. Whatever, the rocker huffed, mentally remind herself to find May during the lunch break and talk about it. I think present Mike Sensei just fainted. Mezzo informed, and most students look ahead to see that the said hero was frozen still with slack jaw and dangling arms. She's going to kill me for letting our boy get another girlfriend, Hizashi sobbed mentally. Phew. Mineta bit his lip hard enough to draw blood as bloody tears ran down his face. Does this scary guy get a harem quirk or what? It's not fair, not fair. Few days later, the class 1A were walking together in their winter hero outfit, mostly. I'm so excited, Toru skipped. Hagakuri, aren't you cold? Kyoka asked with hands in her pockets. I'm freezing, even if I'm wearing my invisible costume, the invisible girl shivered. That's some willpower. The rocker muttered. These are my winter specs. Mina posed, aren't they cool? Everyone's costumes have changed a lot since when we started school, Tenya said. Iida, you managed to endure that costume all summer, Rikito said, impressive. Midoriya, your suits had the most dramatic change, Fumikage said. Yep, it's really been able to increase what I'm able to do. Izuku nodded. This glove is amazing. It's actually already the second version. Hatsume even went so far as to match it to my strength level. Oi, the class 1A turned to see Nato strolled up to them with his class, quite the relaxed vibe coming from you guys. You wouldn't be underestimating us, now would you? Oh, they made it, Eijiro said. We ain't underestimating you, we're looking forward to it. Is that right? Nato laughed. The wave of momentum is definitely moving to our side now. Now, Class A, today is the day we settle things between us, don't you think? He pulled a paper out of nowhere. Take a look at this questionnaire. It's from right after the Culture Festival. Which did you think was better, Class A's concert and Class B's extremely high-quality play? Can you see it? We won by 2 votes. You all have been A getting all the attention since we started at UA, but that's all starting to change. Itsuka slowly approached him, and today, a BS. B. Our first ever joint training battle. We're go. A scarf wrapped around his neck. GEHHH. Shut up. Aizawa drawled. We're going to have a special guest this time. Vlad King said, please don't do anything to embarrass yourselves. A guest? Momo tilted her head. Is it a girl? Mineta drooled. Let's do our best together. Tetsu pumped his fist. He's trying to transfer into the hero department. Aizawa stepped aside to reveal Hitoshi to some students' surprise. It's Shinso Hitoshi from the general department's Class C. So that's what he meant when he said, well, yeah, Izuku said. Wait, is that Aizawa's binding cloth? Someone pointed out, I guess the mask is an original, huh? It's good to have you with us, dude, the steel user said, and few were talking about the brainwash quirk. Go ahead and greet everyone, Aizawa said to the purple-haired boy. I know I've already encountered many of you at the sports festival, but you won't catch me thinking that we're all buddies now that we've exchanged blows. Hitoshi said, I'm not some good-natured person trying to tout a superficial sense of sportsmanship. The fact of the matter is, I've gotten a late start and I've already been left in the dust by hundreds of steps by you all. I'm sorry, but I'm desperate. I will become a great hero, so that I can use my quirk to help others. All of you here today are obstacles that I must overcome. I have no intention of making friends. That's quite the glare. Ochako clapped with everyone else. Things are getting tense. Fumikage said, it's like I'm looking at early Roki, Honta said. You think? Shoto asked. Yep, I like this one. Nato rubbed his chin. Alright, let's get right down to it then, the scruffy teacher said. Combat exercises. Vlad King announced, this time around it's a battle between Class A versus Class B, and the stage will be this section of training field Y. Each side will split up into group of 4, and one team from each will battle it out at a time. 4 to a team, Setsuna said, sounds fun. Fun. Kanoko repeated, including Shinso, how are they gonna cover with that odd number? Today, Shinso will be participating in 2 battles. Aizawa explained, one on Class A's side and one with Class B. In other words, out of 5 matches, 2 of them will be 5 versus 4. Trying to integrate Shinso, who has next to no experience, into your team of 4 will likely be an even bigger disadvantage. It's true that the team of 5 has the numerical advantage, but they'll still have a handicap. The setting for this battle is, the heroes move to surround the villain group and capture them, the Blood Hero said. Each team shall perceive the other as the villains. Once either team captures 4 members of the other, it's their victory. They have been saying that the villains are becoming organized after all, Kanoko said. Nice and simple. Tetsu said, I like it, we're supposed to be heroes, and yet to our opponents, we're villains. Tenya had a crisis, so which is it? What are we?
I think it's fine to consider yourself a hero, Momo said. In each team's camp, we've installed a wicked cute irredeemable prison. Aizawa looked like he want to die after saying that. The moment you imprison your opponent in there, they'll be considered captured. Not only do you have to team up with an inexperienced member, but also, even if you're a team of 5, you'll still lose if 4 of you are captured. He pick a white lottery box as Vlad have black lottery box, alright then. Time to draw lots, Vlad said as the students draw their balls. Alright, Shinso, go ahead and draw yours. You'll join a 1B teams of a number you pull and join any 1A team that have a less member. Hitoshi drew a ball, black 5. In the end, teams and matchup were formed. The first match will have Tsuyu, Hitoshi, Eijiro and Koji up against Ibara, Jirota, Hiryu and Kosei. The second match will have Momo, Yuga, Toru and Fumikage facing Itsuka, Manga, Shihai and Kanoko. The third match will have Tenya, Shoto, Mezzo and Pony fight Tetsu, Juzo, Sen and Toguru. The fourth match has Naruto, Kyoka, Honta and Rikido face Setsuna, Kojira, Yosetsu and Katsuki. The fifth and last match will have Izuku, Ochako, Mineta and Mina up against Nito, Hitoshi, Reiko, Yui and Narengeki. I know one of ours said some nasty stuff. Eijiro said, but let's trying and get along all the same. It's a pleasure working with ya. Thank for having me, Hitoshi said flatly. You're good. Nito laughed madly. Yes, very good. Let us join forces and give that deplorable Class A nice thrashing. Thank for having me, the purple-haired boy repeated flatly. It'll be a rematch for you, huh, Deku. Ochako turned to the said teenager. Yeah, Izuku took his notebook out of nowhere. Have you gotten stronger, Shinso? I'm excited to see how you'll come after us. You'll start in your own areas. Aizawa spoke up. The time limit is 20 minutes. If you're unable to finish the match in that amount of time, the team with more members remaining wins. All Might and Midnight are here. Mina spotted the said teachers as they walk up the stairs to join them. Without further ado, let the first match start. Vlad said very eagerly as the teenagers break into their groups, silently discussing their plans and watch the monitors while the first teams prepare for the match. Bakubro. Eijiro moved closer to greet Katsuki on his way to the location. I haven't seen yo. Get the fuck away, you fucking extra. Katsuki shoved him away angrily. I'm gonna. Bakugo. The scowling blood hero barked at the said teenager with a glare. Come here. Or I'll remove you from this training. Tisk. The explosive user stomped over. Wah. The redhead was so confused and hurt by that before he have no choice but to join his team. Jiro. What's the strategy? Honta asked the said girl after a while. Wait, why are you asking me? Kyoka asked bewilderedly. Honestly, I'm not one for planning ahead. The tape-elbowed teenager scratched his head sheepishly. I'm more a follower than a leader. And you know how I become the more I use my quirk. Rikido added. Also, I don't think Shirotoko is suited to leading us as he is. Yes, what's your order? Naruto asked before he suddenly burst into sand, startled nearly everyone around him, then he reformed. Ah, I obtained a new quirk. GG goddammit, just fucking warn us next time. Yosetsu panted heavily with hand on his chest, he just nearly get a heart attack. Whoa, cool, this quirk of yours is much like this pro hero snatches. Manga pointed out to Naruto, maybe you should look up some videos on him to get ideas for moves. Who's Snatch? Mineta asked after hearing a unfamiliar name from a near distance, underground. He was a pro hero who have sandstorm quirk. Izuku answered. Was. The pervert blinked, did he retired or something? No, he died in line of duty last month. The greenette replied, it was all over the news, don't you see it? DDD died in line. Mineta paled with trembling body. Pay attention. Vlad barked to the teenagers, the first match is starting now. Everyone start to repay attention to the monitors. So it's still tied. Kyoka thought to herself as the third match ended in draw, making it still 1-1 between two classes. That mean, her match is next and she feel a little nervous but determined to give it all she get like her teammates. What make her concerned and nervous is how this bastard Bakugo look at them with fury in his eyes and she can see some hatred, mostly toward her and Naruto. Bakugo, you may use Grenadier Bracer once in a non-lethal method only and nothing more. Vlad King glared down at the explosive user, if you go any farther than that, there will be dire consequences. Whatever, fucker. Katsuki stomped away ahead of his team and the blood hero rubbed his forehead annoyingly and tiredness. He gives you any problems? Aizawa whispered to his fellow teacher, it wasn't in question. More than I like. The blood hero growled, he still refused to work with anyone and he even attacked Monoma last month, all just for copying his quirk. I'm this close to my limit. So that mean? The underground hero narrowed his eyes. Yes, if he keep it up, I'll ask Nezu to transfer him out to general department next month. Vlad King scowled and the scruffy man gave him an understanding nod. The Jiro teams, a name that the boys came up with together much to the Rocker's chagrin, plan was simple. Kyoka will listen for any sounds with Naruto as her partner, getting themselves into an ambush position while Honta and Rikido, accompanied by the blondes Cage Bunshin, split up to set tape barriers not far away from them in case if each other need a backup. It barely have been a minute after the starting bell when Kyoka hear series of pops, growing loud as it get close at high speed. Incoming. Kyoka warned the Noumu, we gotta hide. It's too fast than she expected. That only mean one thing. Found you, fuckers. Before they know it, Katsuki was right above them with a bloodthirsty grin. Die. He was about to blast them with his right hand out but Kyoka act faster by unleashing heartbeat surround move with her wrist amplifier, stunning him for few moments. Shiratoko. Kyoka hollered, get us out of here. Naruto quickly scoop her up then leap across the pipes and buildings as she pressed her ear calm, Sugarman, cellophane. We need backup now. It's Bakugo. We're on our wa, Honta replied before there was some noises on other side, shit. Backup'll be little delay. Fuck, she swore as the comm went dark. Now what? Naruto asked her as they get some good distance from the explosive user, putting her down. First, I need you to send 5 clones to find Sugarman and Cellophane and help them out. 1 more clone to scout out for Tokage. Kyoka said quickly, she don't know what's their situation right now but it won't hurt to have some more helps on their side since she don't know the full power of Kojira's and Yosetsu's quirks. For Setsuna, who know where she is and that's a dangerous thing in this situation because she can get a drop on them anytime. For us too, we have no choice but to take Bakugo on. Knowing him, he won't hold back on us so we better take him down fast and hard. Get it? He nodded and the Rockers hearing pick up another series of explosives but it was right above them. How? When was he this fast? Kyoka's eyes widened in alarm as her head snapped up to the sky to see Katsuki charging downward to them with propelling blasts. Stop running, you fucking waste of spaces. Katsuki bellowed, and let me murder you. He fired dozens of explosives at them, forcing them to split up to avoid the blast radius. The rocker swiftly launched 2 powerful sound waves from her speaker boots toward the explosive user. Katsuki quickly pulled a barrel roll by propelling himself to right and he was about to follow it up with an overhead swing but. Rasengan. Naruto leapt upward with baseball-sized Rasengan, ramming it into the explosive user's side and it sent Katsuki crashing through couple pipes. Bind him with Mokuden. Kyoka barked hurriedly. Hi. The Noumu slammed his hands on ground as soon as he landed and several woods burst up through the pavements, coiling and twisting to capture the explosive user. My word, when did Naruto-kun have a wood quirk? Abara asked wonderfully as they watched twisting woods growing from the ground. He got it about couple months ago. Ochako tapped her chin in deep thought, was it 3 months ago? It was a quite chaotic when it first appeared. Fumikage sweat dropped at the memory, but is it good idea to use woods on him? What do you mean? Mina asked the bird-headed teenager. Bakugo's quirk, remember. The dark shadow user replied and the acid user blinked few times until she finally get it as her eyes widened with a gasp. Kyoka press her ear calm with a small exhale, report. We caught 2. Rikido spoke, thank for the backup. I was this close to out. But we're bit holed up because Tokage is giving us troubles. Alright, we're on our way. She replied, Bakugo's due. The woods behind her suddenly explode in fiery fashion and the rocker recognized it was Bakugo's AP shots move, had seen it in action before. She spun around to see Katsuki standing with pure rage as he lifted his grenadier bracer up at her and the distance was awfully close between them. You useless fucking bitch. Katsuki roared as he pulled the pin, go die. This psycho. Kyoka's eyes widened in horror. Setsuna is very furious and annoyed because of this bastard Bakugo and she know that everything was going to be screwed from the first moment the team was announced, which turned out to be correct, much to her dismay. Instead of listening to the plan, Bakugo told them to fucking shove it up their soggy asses then took off as soon as the match started and they have no choice to go after him to back him up until they run into their opponents. Acting fast, she ordered Kojira and Yosetsu to attack them while she stay out of sight to provide them support. At first, her team have a upper hand on Rikido and Honta after taking Naruto's clone out, until several Naruto clones appear as their opponents back up and arrest both Kojira and Yosetsu and before she know it, a clone spot her, starting a cat and mouse chasing game as she divided herself up in pieces, using hit and run strategy to wear her opponents down. It worked for a while until Rikido and Honta used the tapes to catch more of her body parts in a flytrap-like moves. Fuck. Setsuna cussed inside her head as her enemies caught all of her parts and she have no choice but to reform, due to exhaustion. Before she know it, there was a loud rumbling explosive far away and she see some black smokes raising miles away. Shit. Honta recognized it with a frown. Don't tell me Bakugo used this move. I guess he did. Rikido replied worriedly, I hope no one got caught up in this. It happened so fast that Kyoka never get a chance to react but someone else did. She remember seeing Naruto suddenly teleported to her side, swiftly removed his orange jacket to swaddle her and she felt him hugging her as her shield while the thundering sound blast through, following by heat then it all went away in a flash. She quickly shed the jacket to see massive black smokescreen and she looked up to Naruto before her eyes widened with hitched breath. Naruto's left arm was gone, so was half of his head. Naru. Are you okay, Jiro? Naruto asked her, his head restored to normal in a gory fashion and his left arm was slowly regenerating. Am I okay? Kyoka stuttered, why you just got blew up. And you're asking me if I'm okay. Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine, he replied calmly and the shaken rocker don't know however to feel relieved or worried. These injuries he had, he should be dead if it wasn't for his healing quirks. Fine, she stuttered, are you sure? Do you feel any pains? Naruto was about to give her a response until they both hear a shouting near them. Don't fucking tell me to stand down, shitty blood. Katsuki shouted, I'm doing you a fucking favor. There was a crunching noise before the explosive user stepped through the smokescreen, waving some smokes clear and he sneered ugly when he see them. Fuck, you're still alive, useless bitch. He growled. Wait, Kyoka froze, did he just imply that you did it on purpose? Damn straight I did. The explosive user barked, because of you bitch and this fucking villain, you two ruined everything. You ran to this fucking bum crying and bitching about useless waste of space your old man is and now I have to change fucking class then they keep giving me fucking detentions and suspensions each time I fucking act out. And this fucking villain over there. He shot a deadly glare at Naruto, who appeared to be unmoving. Fucking villain trying to be a fucking hero. Ha, he should stay arrested, this fucking monster. He fucking ruined me, screw me out of my fucking license. I should get it a long time ago and be on my way to number 1. All because this bastard won't die. No, you bought it upon yourself, you unhinged quirkist. Kyoka snarled back, she feel the Noumu's arm stiffen up, causing her to halt in her trail as she tilt her head up to him before she see his stiff than usual expression. Naruto. So that is what it feel like. Naruto whispered chillingly as he feels something boiling up within his body before his completely red eyes snap to Katsuki with hardened glare. Anger. Few minutes ago, some students jump up with gasps as Katsuki release one of his powerful blast and the black smoke suddenly cover most of the cameras. Did he just use that on Jiro? Mina cried out as Momo looked very worried about her best friend's safety like almost everyone else, isn't that overkill? Yes, and it was at point blank. Fumikage grimaced. I saw Shirotoko jumped in there before that, they'll be fine, Izuku said somewhat nervous until they jump when Vlad roared into his mic. Bakugo, stand down. Vlad shouted, I ordered you not to use Grenadier Bracer in lethal method. You're disqualified. Get yourself. Hey, I order you to stand down. Bakugo. He swiftly turned to Aizawa, Eraserhead, with me. On it. Aizawa beckoned Midnight to come with them as they make a beeline to the battlefield. Yagi, stay with the kids. If the senseis are going there, what does that mean? Mineta asked, do we win or lose? Does that matter who win or lose? The acid user glared at him. Yes, the pervert uttered and several give him a dirty look, even some from 1B class. Before one of them make a comment, something shot out from the smokes on the monitor and they look back to see the object was Katsuki with a broken nose then Naruto shot out in the sky with his left arm up. Some teenagers widened their eyes at the sight of Naruto's missing left forearm before it regenerate fully. He blew his arm off. Jirota frowned. No wonder why Vlad Sensei said Bakugo's disqualified. He should have destroyed someone's career like that if it wasn't for Shirotoko's quirk. I'm sure it was an accident. Eijiro replied and no one give him any response or hear him since they were too focused on the monitors. Katsuki found himself flying backward with pain in his nose and the next thing he see is this fucking villain above him with his left fist up. You foo, he tried to blast himself out but the Noumu was already on him, slamming his fist down onto the explosive user's chest and it sent Katsuki farther through pipelines. His opponent land on pavement. You tried to kill Jiro and that's unforgiving. Naruto growled angrily as the berserker quirk slowly take over him and he fight it back because he don't want to attack his allies under its influence. Suddenly, he feels something else, a familiar feeling of new quirk. Dark red energy spread all over from his chest to whole of his body and an echoing voice rang within his head. Energy Shroud plus Kitsune 4 Tail Mode plus. 4 red tails stretching out from Naruto's tailbone along with 2 long rabbit-like ears as his hands and feet turn into fox-like claws, 2 white orbs and pumpkin-like mouth. With a thundering soundwave, Naruto leaped toward Katsuki with his claws out in a pounce stance, and the explosive user barely get back up on his feet before the Noumu tackle him through several more pipelines. Fuck. Katsuki snarled as he lashed out with barrage of explosives from his palms, and to his shock, it appeared to have no effect on the shroud. You fucking villain, I'm gonna kill you. Me, villain. With a twist of his torso, Naruto threw the explosive user down onto the ground with a hard crash as it knocked some winds out of Katsuki. It's you who is the villain here. Spewing nothing but death threats and use violence up on others. The Noumu spin downward to his enemy, adding more force behind his reveal, and it was about to make a contact, but Katsuki blasts at his side with both hands, allow the explosive user to slide backward across the ground to avoid the attack. A small crater formed under Naruto's heel when it crashed down. Shut the fuck up, fucker. The explosive user pushed himself up with blasts, quickly aim his unused grenadier bracer at the Noumu with a wicked grin. Let's see if you take it at point blank. He was about to pull the pin, but at same time, the Noumu buried his right hand deeply in the ground with a slam, and before Katsuki knew it, a red claw shot up from the ground beneath him. It grabbed the bracer upward, forcing Katsuki's arm along up with a crack, and a powerful blast shot up to the sky, sending many pieces of pipelines and shrapnel scrambling everywhere. Before he can react, a balled up of Naruto's tail rammed into his stomach, and Katsuki tumbled backward painfully until he stopped with some skids. Katsuki rolled upon his limbs, vomiting some biles out on ground. He never have enough time to recover when Naruto give him a powerful uppercut that sent him flying upward, only to get smashing back on ground when one of Naruto's tail coil around his ankle. The Noumu give him few more smashing as if he was playing with a ragdoll before he threw the explosive user across the field into a metal silo. Why you fucking monster? He coughed out angrily. You who wield explosion, you are worthless of it. Naruto spoke as his white eyes turned black, flaunting it right and left because you believe it's a powerful thing when in truth, it is useless, nothing but a mere spark. What did you fucking said about my quirk? Katsuki snarled angrily, and Naruto's eyes turned back to white as four tails curve inward near Naruto's gaping mouth. Many energy orbs appear around his body. The orbs start to gathering into a large ball, compressing to size of marble, and he was about to do something, but Naruto. Kyoka leaped down onto the Numu's back with her arms around his neck. Stop. He's not worth it, she shouted with heavy pants, due to exhaustion because she have been running across the industrial site from pipes to rooftops. But he tried to. The Noumu growled deadly as the shroud slowly faded. I know. She squeezed her arms on him as she glared at the coughing explosive user when he attempted to get up, but I don't want you to go lower like this bastard, and he's done. Look at him, he's on his last leg. I'm not fucking done. Katsuki snarled before he stumbled back on the ground with a thud. You fucking are. Kyoka sneered as Naruto's shroud disappeared and she slowly released him, taking a step back to allow him standing up. You good, Shiratoko. He gave her a nod. Come on, let's get out of here. I said I am not fucking done with you too. The explosive user pulled a grenade from his chest belt as he prepared to throw it at them with an evil grin. Go die for good. The rocker tensed while her partner make a move, but all of a sudden, the blood appeared from nowhere and it cocooned the grenade as it hardened. A muffled exploding sound can be heard within it. What the foo? Katsuki bellowed before scarves covered his mouth, and he tried to resist it with his quirk, but it didn't work. Fuck erasing. The angry teenager recognized it right away before purple gas flowed into his nose and he passed out right away. Sensei. The rocker was surprised by the teacher's appearance. Are you two okay? Midnight asked them. Yeah, mostly. Kyoka replied dumbfounded. What's going on? What's going on is that the match is over. Vlad frowned down at Katsuki. Bakugo claimed that the rocker was about to say something. We know, we heard everything. The R-rated heroine cut her off with a firm headpat. The teachers have complete access to the comms and mic. Does that mean everyone else? Kyoka frowned. No, the students don't heard everything, just us the teachers. She said. You two, go back with Vlad and Midnight. Aizawa secured the explosive user and he gave his students the look. Get it. The rocker gave Naruto a little nudge to catch his attention. You heard him, let's go. Okay, Naruto replied. After Vlad announced that the match goes to Class A because the Jiro team had caught 3 B members, most teenagers turned to both Kyoka and Naruto to check on them. You two all right? Rikido asked them worriedly and guiltily. Sorry for not show up in time. If we know that was gonna happen like that. Honda also looked guilty for not able to come to their aids. It's cool. Kyoka replied. It's not your faults, it can't be helped. And we made it out okay. She make a quick glance at Naruto next to her, trying her best not to shudder at the memory of his injuries, and without thinking, she quietly sneaked her hand into his right hand. The blonde turned his head to her with a blink. Naruto-kun, what about you? Reiko was at his side with Toru, Yui and Abara as they looked worried in their own way, despite the fact that Yui have expressionless face. I'm fine. Naruto replied. You sure? Abara asked concerning. We saw the stage of your left arm before the regeneration kick in. Did they saw his head? The rocker glanced at them. No, they didn't. She noticed that their gazes were on his left arm and never at his head, not even once. Yeah, the Noumu stared at them before he hold his free arm out. Do you want to hug? I was told that hugs ease worries, make everything better and the likes. Yes, I would like one. The vine-haired girl embraced him on one side and Reiko immediately joined in along with Toru, following by Yui. Kyoka give out a little surprised squeak when he pull her into the group hug, still holding hand. Whoa, why are you three fraternize with our enemies? Nito screeched at the sight as he gave his female classmates a disappointed face. Because he's our boyfriend. Yui replied casually, enjoying the hug. The copycat uttered dumbly, you're joking. We're not joking. The ghost girl stroked her boyfriend's chest, we're in polyamory relationship. Her male classmates blinked at her few times, not sure whether to believe it or not. It's true, Abara blushed and the male classmates dropped their jaws with widened eyes. Oh right, we didn't told them about that. Itsuka's sweat dropped. Wait, Nito screeched and the orangutan never get a chance to say anything when Aizawa come back. Alright, let's move on and start the last match. Aizawa clapped his hands and couple certain teenagers want to ask him a question but he give them a, don't ask, look, shutting them up. Wish me good luck. Reiko pecked Naruto's lip. Same. The expressionless girl kissed his cheek on her tiptoes. Good luck. Naruto replied and several teenager boys just stare on, still in shock or jealous at his luck. Oh, Midoriya ran into Monoma. Toru pointed out while leaning on her boyfriend's right side, think he copied Shinso's quirk beforehand. Who know? Kyoka replied as they watched the monitors, still holding Naruto's hand. All of a sudden, black tendrils shot out from Izuku's arms to almost everyone's shock. What the heck? Honda gawked, is that a new ability? Man, look like you're not the only one that get upgrades. The rocker joked to her boyfriend before she feel his hand stiffen for a moment, shyer. She looked up to him puzzlingly before she froze at Naruto's pitch black eyes as he stared straight to the monitor. So it's where they are now. Naruto said softly with echoing tone before his black eyes snapped to make eye contact with Kyoka. Ah, you again. Shiratoko. Kyoka whispered back as he stared before her eyes narrowed. You're not Shiratoko right now. The Noumu kept stare at her and she can see left corner of his mouth twitching upward a bit for a moment. How interesting. The Noumu uttered before his eyes turned back to normal and he blinked once. Shiratoko. She repeated worriedly. Yes, Jiro. Naruto tilted his head at her blankly. Are you okay? She asked. Did you feel anything funny or get new quirks? I don't feel anything odd or have get any new quirks since the last match, why? He replied. I'm not sure. Kyoka frowned with concern, but I think we need to talk to Aizawa-sensei. Maybe it's good idea to let her teacher know what happened with Naruto because it's too strange and she don't want to take any chances. Maybe it's nothing, she hope. Whoa, they did it. The invisible girl bounced and the rocker looked back to the monitor to see that the team A have successfully catch the team B. Shit, I missed everything. The rocker groaned mentally before Midnight announced the winner of the joint training exercise and she made sure to inform her homeroom teacher with Naruto about his strange episode. A figure watched the liquids drain from the first row of tanks as the first set of Noumu tumble out on their shaking limbs. The first wave will be enough to claim this city as our stronghold and first foothold of our era. The figure stretched its hand out to the woken Noumu, in the name of the one. The Noumus give out different cries and the figure's eyes creaked in twisted smile.